Inside the crisp, clean waterways of the Pacific Northwest is a living treasure which for countless generations has been the source of livelihood and sustenance for the people who live on these banks. The fish and seafood here is some of the best in the world. So there's no better place in the United States to indulge in the fruit of the sea than right here in Seattle, Washington. Today we immerse ourselves in the growing modern city, Seattle. We taste the produce in the fresh food market that is the heart and soul of this town. We also discover how the Native Americans lived here and how these waterways and its bounty were so important to their existence. We go on a real-life sea adventure and I'm going to try and catch my very first salmon. We learn how to cook king salmon Seattle style from a man who's been doing it for over 30 years. This dish is absolutely delicious. And we take a look back at our United Plates of America journey. That's all on today's show. Seattle is a seaport city on the upper west coast of the United States. It is the fastest growing major city in America, with over 1,000 people moving here each week. This is largely due to the boom in technology companies and local internet e-commerce behemoth Amazon. It is not only changing the demographic of the city, but is also changing the look and shape of the skyline. The city is now awash with new developments, and it seems like on every corner there's a construction crane. There is something special about this little city that seems to incubate global corporations. Starbucks was founded here, as well as Microsoft, Nordstrom, Boeing, and so many others that had their start right here in this humble town. It must be something in the water. It was these waters that provided the transport system and food sources for the Duwamish people. Before European settlement, this tribe was the custodians of the 54,000 acres of land that is now Seattle. Now they occupy a 3/4 of an acre site in a replica traditional longhouse right alongside the Duwamish River.
You have to know, a long time ago was forest. So they're along the river. They would build their longhouses along the rivers. They were all over the place. There would maybe be families related, maybe 5, 6, maybe 7 families living together. They would cook and then they'd go fishing, go hunting, jump in their canoes, because we traveled by canoes, and go to other villages to visit or maybe to trade.
This land and its waters had been home to native tribes for millennia, but they would be overwhelmed by their new neighbours within a few short years. Settlers came here in search of a new life and set up the logging enterprise, which was Seattle's first boom industry. But in those days, there wasn't a lot of respect for the Indigenous people.
They burned, I understand, over 50 or 60 longhouses that belonged to our people. They didn't want us here, but we're still here.
Seattle was named after Chief Seattle. He was at the time the ruling chief where Seattle is now located. The native people here loved to eat from its waters. While they did hunt elk and smaller critters, the bounty from the waterways provided an easy catch for hundreds of hungry locals. Today, the spiritual mecca of seafood in Seattle is the Pike Place Market. The fish is fresh and abundant. The Pike Place Fish Market is world-renowned for its fish throwing. They have turned throwing their seafood into a sport and a spectacle. For me, I'd rather eat my seafood than throw it. So I'm meeting up with a local who knows more about the local seafood scene than anyone else. Angela. She's the owner of the food tour company, Savor Seattle. Okay, so what do we got here?
So we've got a classic mojito made with Stiggins Fancy pineapple rum.
It's fancy.
It is fancy. Nothing but the best for you, Gary.
This is the Nest. How cool is this place?
It's kind of a little bit of a hidden spot. It's at the rooftop of the Thompson Hotel, right in downtown Seattle. But once you come up here, take a look at this.
I mean, really, you can see the whole of Seattle here.
The Great Wheel, ferries, mountains. It's just quintessentially why I live here in Seattle. But Seattle's really become this great melting pot, and it's an exciting time to be here.
Pike's Place Market is for tourists, right?
You know what? 10 million people do come to Pike Place a year as a visitor.
Wow.
Though it really started as a place for locals. Back in 1907, it started because, there really wasn't a grocery store really back then, and there's no way to connect directly to farmers. And so this was a great way for the local people to get great fresh produce. And to this day, if you live in the downtown Seattle area, you'll still see locals who come and shop at the market every day. There was a huge presence of Japanese Americans here because of Pike Place Market.
Is that right?
Yeah, so many of the farmers are actually of Japanese descent, and at one point, over 3/4 of the farmers there were Japanese American.
The waters are here. There's so many rivers and inlets and water. I mean, the whole place is surrounded by water. How important is that for leisure, and do people use the water here?
Oh my gosh, well, it'd be kind of remiss to live here and not use the water, right? We have incredible kayaking all around the Puget Sound, as well as in the San Juan Islands. In fact, Sabre Seattle operates a 3-day, 2-night gourmet kayaking expedition in the San Juan Islands.
Eat from the sea?
We call it pampered paddling, so you've probably heard of glamping.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So you get to have incredible food and wine in the great outdoors, married with,
A bit of hard work.
Yeah, you work up a sweat to enjoy your food.
So how did you get to food? I mean, you're a foodie. You have Sabre Seattle, which is like a food tour company. You're immersed yourself in food.
I grew up in a restaurant family. My dad's a chef, so I've always loved the power of food to bring people together.
So what are we going to eat here today?
So it looks like we've got some delicious grilled prawn skewers.
Wow, these look great. Do you know what amazes me? Here we are in Seattle. It is fall now, and it's beautiful, sunny, quite warm.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And this drink and this food is perfect for this environment.
I think we tell people it rains here all the time, so then they don't move here.
Okay. So what we're doing, wrapping the lettuce leaves around the prawn.
And make sure you put a little bit of mint.
Sure.
And the chili pepper in there as well.
Yep. This is going to be great. And just eat it like a taco.
Yeah, let's do it. It's hard to make this look glamorous, but I'm going to try. Ready? All right.
That is really good. Okay, so we tried some prawns. Now, where are we going next?
So we're gonna head down to my favorite oyster bar, which is Seatown Sea Bar, owned by Tom Douglas, one of the most renowned chefs here in Seattle.
I don't love oysters.
Well, that's probably because you haven't had a great oyster yet. So I'm gonna show you where the best raw oysters are here in Seattle. What better place?
I mean, I don't love oysters, to be honest. Help me out, because I want to know how to eat them properly. I want to know, there's different types of oysters as well, isn't there?
There really are, and you couldn't have picked a better place to learn how to eat oysters than here in Seattle.
Well, you picked it, right?
Well, of course. Yeah. So have you heard of Chef Tom Douglas?
Absolutely. He's like a hometown legend.
He is. 17 restaurants later, he's still rolling, and this is his raw seafood restaurant. And so you can see there's quite an assortment of what we're famous for. I'm
so glad we've paired everything with, you've chosen a white wine.
I did. So this is a cava, a little bit of sparkling.
Cheers.
And it's the perfect pairing for raw oysters. Cheers.
Okay, let me do your favorite first. I'm going to do the smaller one. That's okay. So how do I do this?
Okay, so
I need to
what you want to do, you can see that there's what they call the liquor in there. That's the sauce, the secret sauce.
Okay.
You don't want that to go to waste. Don't dump that out. Ready?
For sure.
Okay, so we've already put the lemon on top. So you want to make sure that the
Pulled apart
so it's not stuck to the shell.
Oh yeah, I see. Yep.
Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to count to 3.
Yeah.
And then you're going to knock this back like a shot, but you're going to chew.
Oh, we are going to chew. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Don't want to just swallow. Okay, ready? Cheers.
Cheers. You know when you're a child and you go down to the ocean, for the first time you smell that ocean smell? That's what went through my mind when I had that.
Isn't that amazing?
And it wasn't fishy, it wasn't, you know that horrible fishy taste? It was really delicious. After the break, I go into the ocean to try my hand at catching my very first salmon. And we learn how to cook salmon Seattle style. We're out at Ballard and about to head into the water to see if I can catch myself a salmon. Gary Creans has been fishing these waters for many years, so if he can't help me snare a fish, then no one can.
Oh, come on,
This is going to be great.
Yeah, it is going to be a good trip, yes.
So, am I going to catch anything today?
We're going after coho salmon.
Okay.
Yeah, and we are going to catch them. Confidence.
Okay. I love his positive thinking. What's the likelihood of you taking out a chowder and no one catches anything? I mean, does it ever happen?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If you fish as many years as I have, which is 35 years in this business,
wow,
you are going to have the day when you don't catch any fish.
That's a sad time, right?
It's not what you want to have happen.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, not everything is about the catching of the fish. Look at this water. Look at these bright sunshine. We see seals, sea lions, animals. It's all part of the process.
Yeah.
And sometimes the fish is a bonus.
The fascinating thing is when we got on the boat before, you said, okay, we're going to catch a salmon today. How do you know we're going to get a salmon and something else is not going to get on that rod?
Well, years of experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there is not a 100% guarantee that you're going to do anything out here except hopefully come home and go back out again. I mean, that's about it. I mean, you know, but we are using equipment that targets salmon.
Yep.
We expect to catch salmon. You know, that's what we expect to happen.
So are we going to catch one today?
I am praying for us to catch a fish. Yes.
Amen.
Yeah.
The whole ecology in this whole region is dependent upon the salmon.
You know, it
bears,
is.
It's everything.
It is. And it's true, and I believe it, that, you know, salmon determine how we're going to survive here in the Northwest. Sure. It's very important.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
reel, nice and easy.
Yep.
Put your hand up here.
Yep.
Hand up here.
Yep.
Put this down in your groin right there.
Yep.
Okay, and just reel. Keep it nice, steady, tension.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, keep reeling. It got off. That one escaped. That's part of fishing.
Yeah. For real? I did all that work for nothing.
No. You didn't do it for nothing. Didn't you learn something?
I actually learned how to hold the rod.
Yeah, see? So we didn't do it for nothing.
Okay.
Okay? You have to understand that fishing is hours of relaxation with moments of disturbed excitement.
Okay.
So you had some disturbed excitement there. So let's try again.
All right. It's the waiting that kills me with fishing. I think this is why I've never taken up fishing. Just staring at the rod, not moving. Well, unfortunately, it's not my day today, and my luck and my time has run out. It's time to head back to land. It pains me to watch others have their fish filleted and bagged up to take home. Well, next time, hopefully, I'll have some better luck. After the break, I'm heading to Blue Acre Seafood Restaurant. Chef and owner Kevin has been cooking local salmon here for over 30 years. I'm keen to glean some cooking tips, and maybe I can take them home with me. Now I've tasted so much salmon, I want to learn a new way of cooking it. I'm at Blue Acre Seafood Restaurant. The chef here, Kevin, has been cooking local salmon for over 30 years. So I'm keen to glean some cooking tips and as much information from him in the short time that I have him. Salmon, I've got to say, is my most favourite food. I have it 3 times a week. I just love it.
Salmon is the ultimate. Salmon is the food of the gods. I've been in this town, basically on this block since 1999, cooking salmon, putting the sea in Seattle, man. And I never get tired of it. Do you know that man has been living in a symbiotic relationship with wild salmon in this area for 10,000 years?
Wow.
It is the cornerstone nutrient of the environment.
It's amazing.
So look at the fat content on this. This is off of about an 18-pound king.
Okay, now grilling it on a grill I'm going to lose some of that fat.
You don't want to cook it too fast. You don't want to cook it over a high flame.
Salmon is revered here in Seattle.
It's the iconic food fish here.
Kind of like in India, you have cows, that are the sacred beast. Here, it's the salmon.
The only thing different is that here we eat it, and we love it. So you see how when I turn that over, you see how the smoke's starting to come?
Yeah.
Because the bottom side is a fattier side. I always find the peaches with the deep red skin to be the best.
Peaches and salmon? I've never heard of peaches and salmon in my life.
It sounds odd unless you're from here and you think about it. It's coincidental with the season, right? So here we have these wonderful peaches that are actually allowed to ripen before they're picked, which is why they have the full amount of sugar. In Seattle, we have a very short but incredibly productive growing season. It's knowing what's in season and when it's going to be at its best.
You get excited about local food.
Oh yeah, you hear that?
Yep.
When it stops bubbling, that's when your brown butter is perfect. I'll add my smoked almonds, okay? Just a little toss here, toast the almonds, and I'm gonna add a little fresh rosemary.
Yum.
And I wanna make sure I fry that rosemary, okay? That way it mellows it out and flavors the sauce.
Look how moist that is.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Look at the fat in the bottom.
That is incredible.
Okay, so here I'm gonna take a little bit of orange zest, okay? A little salt.
A little bit of spring.
Pepper. Okay.
A little bit of seasons here.
Okay. Now.
So we're going to saute them down to almost like a puree, or?
No. These are fresh, wonderful peaches, and they're just a little bit firm, and that's the way they're perfect for this dish. So you like your salmon a little bit medium rare?
A bit more well done, to be honest.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
So this is a head piece. This is a belly piece. The belly piece I cook a little bit more, that rich fattiness.
Yeah.
The head piece I'll leave medium rare. When you cut it open, it's going to be translucent. So,
okay, serving it on top of the potatoes. This is going to be interesting. The peaches are still firm, which is great.
And then I have that wonderful smoked almond brown butter.
This looks great. I eat so much salmon that it can get a little boring. This is going to be a great idea to try because that has just made my life
Well, also, and you
so
see how
much better.
easy it was.
Let's go and try it.
All right.
Oh my gosh, you've even made me a little bit of a table setting here. This is great. All right, let's do it. I'm really eager to try these peaches with the salmon here. Oh my gosh. You know what? It's a very buttery, syrupy, jammy taste. Just so beautiful. That is the best salmon that I've ever had. Thank you so much. After the break, we take a look back at our United Plates of America journey. While the world still struggles with tensions over race and culture, there is always one thing that unites us all, and that is food. In this season of United Plates of America, we have travelled across the country to America's biggest cities, discovering underlying food cultures that exist in every town. We embrace the migrants who have come to live here while tasting their food and experiencing their culture. From Los Angeles to New York, we went on a magical adventure together, meeting amazing people and tasting incredible food. Our journey started in the diverse city of Los Angeles, where we learnt about Japanese food. I mean, this is so much food, and everything, it's a work of art.
Yeah, my grandmother, well, when they took their bento boxes to picnics, all the East Bay ladies would compare each other's food, and it was kind of an unspoken competition.
Doesn't matter what culture, right? That goes on everywhere. Then we traveled south to San Diego, California, alongside the Mexican border for some authentic Mexican food.
When I prepare my dishes, I try to the people enjoy the food, no suffer.
I always call chefs architects of food, the scientists of food. They bring out the best of it, right?
Absolutely.
Then we checked out New England's great city of Boston to learn all about the Irish-American culture.
Boston's like a bigger version of Dublin. All right, it's like a bigger.
There's so many Irish here.
Yeah, it's like a bigger, newer version of Dublin. So if you want to say people are very real here, you know what I mean? No BS. The contrast between living in Ireland and living here, there certainly is a big difference in the sense that you can tell that when people got here, a little less tradition, more just like what's better, what's a better flow. Yeah. And that's what I think what attracted me a lot to being over here is in the city of Boston.
After Boston, we headed southwest to New York City. We checked out various types of food and met some interesting people along the way. Have you eaten kangaroo before?
No.
We're doing kangaroo burger for you, and I'm going to have some lamb.
I mean, I love lamb, but kangaroo is completely.
Well, I'm really interested to get your feedback on this and how it tastes.
I don't even think I've ever been in the presence of a kangaroo either.
Well, you're going to eat one before you're actually going to see a live one, which is.
Do you think they'll know? Do you think they'll sense that?
We made our way to the windy city of Chicago, Illinois, for some Italian food.
Wow.
Oh wow! Look at this. That looks like a pie. It's a pie.
It's a pie, yeah.
It's almost like a quiche kind of like concept, but it's kind of full of meat. Oh my gosh.
There's no cheese on it though.
Oh my gosh, that is insane.
And now if you or I tried to cut it, we wouldn't be so successful.
Next, we headed about 300 miles southwest to St. Louis, Missouri. We met the locals, we heard their stories, and we ate their hearty food. Okay, so these are the cabbage rolls right here.
These are the cabbage rolls, ground beef and rice rolled in cabbage, topped with a light paprika sauce. Ceviche, the things I was speaking about earlier. Traditional homemade beef sausages. They're grilled and it's served with this traditional homemade pita bread called lepigna. And here's the king of all plates here at the restaurant, one of our most popular ones. We call it our mixed garbage plate.
I still can't get over how fantastic the Bosnian food was there and how nice the people were as well. Just over 300 miles southeast is Nashville, otherwise known as Music City.
This was the main drag between Nashville and Memphis. Okay. Matter of fact, that's what inspired Annie and Lon Lovelace to open their house up as a little cafe, because there was so much traffic back then.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say that, because I mean, you guys had 500,000 people still come here, regardless of what's going on with that road. So what have we got going on here?
Well,
this is the smokehouse.
Now,
right?
Here behind door number 1, we have, these are pork butts or shoulder butt roasts.
So they're not the actual butt, they're actually the shoulder.
The butt is actually a ham.
Okay.
The shoulder butt roast is from the butt of the shoulder.
Before we go to our last destination, Seattle, we headed to Atlanta to check out the food truck scene there.
And it has bacon on it, goat cheese, and strawberry preserves.
Strawberry preserves?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, the sweetness of the preserves, the gamey of the goat cheese, it goes really great together.
Okay, here we go. I'm out on good behavior.
Give it a whirl.
Oh, that's good.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it.
I'm glad I got out of prison for this.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us on this epic food adventure on this season of United Plates of America. I'm Gary Takel, and we'll see you next time. From farm to table, grapes to glass, the Santa Barbara food and wine industry is booming. I mean, look at that. That is something that is really not what I was expecting.
Right.
Wow. On the menu today, vibrant pasta dishes. Wow. and a tapestry of tastes and flavours. We get a lesson in fine wines and some pointers on getting the most Instagram-worthy photos. Do you know what? We're not here to eat only. We're here to take some shots.
Yes.
Join us as we take a bite out of Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara is often referred to as the American Riviera, located on California's central coast. This seaside community of about 92,000 residents welcomes over 7 million visitors to the area every year. The unique year-round climate, rich farming terrain, and proximity to the ocean offers a sea of culinary possibilities. Renowned for its Spanish architecture and Mediterranean influences, this coastal city is home to an array of international cuisines and a growing reputation for world-class wines. Santa Barbara is one of my favorite places in California. It's so close to LA that I feel as if it's like a world away. I feel like I'm in a little bit of Europe. Today I'm meeting up with Gabe. He's a local food and wine lover and respected travel writer and reporter. I wanted to pair some delicious food with wine, so he suggested I meet him at La Quinta in downtown's Funk Zone. But more about that later. So I'm looking forward to trying some great food and obviously some local Santa Barbara wine. Hello, Gabe.
Hey, great to see you, Gary.
Great to see you.
Welcome to Santa Barbara.
Thanks for having me. And let me tell you something about Santa Barbara. It's become funky.
It is, and that's exactly where we are, in the middle of what we affectionately call as locals the Funk Zone. This was an area that had sort of been forgotten a little bit, a lot of rundown buildings, and it took a couple of creative folks, including the folks behind this restaurant, to come in, see some potential there, and really invest in transforming this into still an eclectic area. You've got tasting rooms, you've got a distillery, you've got some restaurants, you've got some art houses, some galleries, but it is at its core essentially Santa Barbara. Food scene, as it's developed, as it's grown, and certainly where we are today is an example of the new wave of culinary offerings in Santa Barbara. That goes hand in hand with the wine scene in Santa Barbara.
Well, we're here in a Spanish restaurant, and this is unique. The reason why I wanted to come here with you is because Santa Barbara is known for its Spanish architecture, and have a guess how many Spanish restaurants there was before this one?
That probably was about 0.
And now there is finally a Spanish restaurant right here in Santa Barbara, which just makes so much sense. Well, we're going to have some fun today. I mean, we're going to eat some Spanish food first. We're not going to do the wine yet. So we're going to have some Spanish paella. When you think of Spanish food, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, family for one for me, because I grew up, I've had family in Spain. I grew up eating paella as a kid.
Well, we're going to do a Santa Barbara version of that. And most of the produce actually came from this region. So it's going to be fantastic.
So the concept that we've kind of geared towards, and I think people resonate the most with, is doing Santa Barbara local produce and a lot of seafood with a Spanish flair, but I also put my own spin on it. So I made a few different dishes for Gary and Gabe today. The first dish is the Secreto Iberico de Bellota. So we lightly cook it on top of the grill, try to get nice char marks. To do it very, very simple, we take some local California red oak, we cook it on top of the embers, a little bit of salt and pepper, because when you have something that special, you want to keep it very simple. And then on top, it has some local apple chutney. We slice it to medium rare. And then finish it with some black truffles, shallots, garlic, thyme, white wine, and some salt, pepper. So it just has like a huge flavor bomb inside of that sauce. And the other dish is our marisco de paella. So being Spanish, you kind of have to have paella. It's probably the most famous Spanish dish you can think of. When you think of Spain, people think of paella. We always want to highlight the local seafood whenever we can. So in this case, we have local calamari. And then we also have the Calaspara bamba rice, which is flown in from Valenciana. You kind of have to have the bomba rice from Valencia to be called a paella. We also have some local whole branch mussels, which are based out of Goleta, about 5 to 10 miles away. And then we also made a dashi stock. So we took all of the carcass of the bones of all the fish and lobsters that we work with in-house. We turned that into a nice stock. So the rice has a squid ink sofrito. Sofrito being the base of all paella. It's a mixture of onion, garlic, bell peppers, and tomatoes. With the secreto, I hope they're tasting like the true richness and decadence of the dish and just how special it is. I'm hoping they have like just a really good burst of seafood flavor, and that just showcases how fresh the seafood is.
And it looks like here it comes right now.
There it is, the pièce de résistance. Look at that.
Me? Now that, you know how we talk about being innovative and different?
Yeah.
That is not how I'm used to seeing a
right.
The paella is exactly what I was not expecting.
It's a bit of a sort of a sexier, more modern presentation on it, but the beautiful part of this is all the local fish. I mean, the local uni, you know, the prawns if they're in season is something that would be featured here. The mussels. This is what the ocean down the street has to offer, basically.
Well, let's try it, shall we? So we have the rice on the bottom here. We have the rice.
That's right.
Which is kind of like a black kind of rice.
All right, I'm going to let you take the lead there.
Look at this. So we get some brown rice here. We have the fish, which is obviously local, and then you have the uni as well. I mean, look at that. That is something that is really not what I was expecting.
Right.
Okay, let me just try that. Wow.
Right, a lot of flavor.
Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and the fish is so fresh. The salt, all you can really taste is the seafood.
Yeah.
Love what I'm tasting here. I mean, I love the fish, it's fresh. I love the rice.
I'm going to dig into some of this uni. First of all, I mean, look how fascinating that is.
That looks like a Star Wars creature, you know, you see from a weird planet.
You don't see every day, but what I love about this is almost melts in your mouth. It's almost like candy. It's almost like ocean-inspired candy, but there's a brininess to it. You taste the ocean, but in a very sort of subtle and almost seductive way. Yeah, that's delicious.
Yeah, this is really different and breaks away from the trend from what you grew up with, right?
It was never this beautifully presented. It was more like it was a very homegrown dish.
From the very first bite, you can see that this is obviously a dish that's taken a lot of care and a lot of thought, and obviously cooked to perfection. Chef really knows his stuff. And it amazes me how he can cook from everything from French and Italian right through to a Spanish dish and keep its authenticity, but have a kind of a Santa Barbara twist to it. Okay, great way to start the day. We've got a lot of food to eat here. Another pork dish here and an amazing specialty from the chef as well. This is going to be great. This is a great start to Santa Barbara. Love what's going on in this restaurant. Let's eat up, get down to the next place and do some wine.
Yeah, absolutely.
The seaside city of Santa Barbara is home to over 450 restaurants. The local chefs have access to weekly farmers markets, sustainably harvested seafood, and local winemakers. The food and wine tour continues in downtown Santa Barbara. Our guide Gabe suggests Satellite for the next stop. This out-of-this-world eatery serves up health-conscious dishes and a stellar selection of natural wines.
I think I have the easiest sommelier job in the world. I get to pair fresh wines with fresh food. And that's what really boils down to what Satellite is farmer food and farmer wines. We're really looking for things that are popping right now, that are drinking a peak of flavor, so it's delicious.
Alrighty, so
stepping up to the bar.
We are at the bar.
Just an overall cool, hip joint.
Well, there's a whole astronaut satellite thing of this astronaut memorabilia and funny TVs and stuff.
I like it. It sort of taps their whole explorative approach to wine, demystifying the wine and food experience, making it a little bit easier, bending the rules, pushing the envelope is okay. So the food is a very approachable, sort of small, shareable plates. They tend to focus on, I think, what is the leading edge of the local wine scene. You want to walk through a couple of these wines here? These are all Santa Barbara County wines. So we'll start with this. It's Fractured Emergence is the label, and it's a Chardonnay. Now I gotta tell you, Santa Barbara County, world-renowned for Chardonnay. A lot of the Chardonnay grown here ends up being bought up by folks up in Napa, Sonoma. I just like the fact that it looks nice and light.
Yeah, to have that with a lunch would be fine.
Definitely a middle of the day drink. Nice fruit-forward flavor, but nice and crisp and clean on the end, not cloying.
So this is the Chardonnay.
But a classic Santa Barbara County Chardonnay. Delicious. So this is Gamay, popular in some of the Mediterranean growing regions in Europe.
Ooh.
So again,
oh, it's almost like a white wine.
It's almost, exactly. And again, with a little side of lunch, this is going to go down easy. Luna Heart. This is a new boutique Cabernet Franc. All right, this is in the Bordeaux family.
Now that looks like a red wine that I'm used to. That's almost thick. It's almost kind of syrupy.
Yeah, a classic.
Oh, and it's got a real pungent. Is this growing locally in Santa Barbara?
It's a local grape.
Really nice wine that you would have
with more of a meal, with some richer cheeses, with a nice little barbecue fare.
Alrighty, let's finish this off.
Yeah.
The philosophy here is dynamism. It's always evolving, it's seasonal, because we have such great access to wonderful flavors. And all year round, we can produce these wonderful ingredients that we get to show off and really share with the community. We're looking for sort of deeper flavors, warmer items. So Emma is making for Gary and Gabe a California porridge, which is a great example of our menu evolving. Spinach on top, a bit of a pesto, a ton of sprouts swirled about. And then underneath you've got cauliflower. You've got lots of coconut cream. There are pomegranates, lots of bright contrasting flavors. And the other dish is yoga pants salad, which is sort of our expression of the farmer's market. Really, whatever's bountiful will be the seasoning of the salad. So we always start with 3 lettuces, radicchio, kale, and a little gems lettuce. And then with that, you'll get a ton of sprouts, fried leeks, sort of blackened on top, really give this depth of flavor. And then seasonally, you'll find everything from beets to squash to mandarin oranges, and that evolves through the year. And it really is just this seasonal expression of what is bountiful here in Santa Barbara.
Now that is what I call farm to table. We pretty much have the whole farm. So yoga pants salad, cauliflower.
Yeah, cauliflower porridge.
Okay, let's try it here, shall we? I'm just gonna try a bit. Oh wow. It's like a curry. Mm-hmm. It's got a curry element to it. Cauliflower is a dish that people are using a lot more now. That and mushroom, it's the one thing you can actually put on a plate and give it a meatiness.
It substitutes meat quite nicely. And boy, it can absorb flavor so well because those ethnic flavors really pop.
That is so true.
Yeah.
And you know what, eating like this, we are going to be in our yoga pants in no time, because even this dish is light on carbs, really healthy for you.
Exactly right.
And tastes absolutely fantastic.
It makes it a little less sinful to have yet another glass of wine during lunch, am I right?
Absolutely, I love it. Okay, let's finish this up. In the meanwhile, thank you so much for...
You'll come back to Santa Barbara, right?
Oh my gosh.
Great place.
I'm not going anywhere. You've been amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Gary.
It was really great meeting up with Gabe and getting his insight into Santa Barbara's fine food and wine. Now we're off to see Tara. She's the founder of Eat This, Shoot That, Santa Barbara's first interactive food and photo tour. She selected Convivo, located inside the Santa Barbara Inn, for this restaurant rendezvous. Hey Tara!
Hey Gary!
Good to see you!
Good to see you!
I love coming to Santa Barbara. And this is kind of a cool place. It's kind of like an Italian...
Yeah, I would say like a farm-to-table Italian style.
Farm to table, we're using that word again.
I know.
I spent some time here already and everyone's using the same term, farm to table. But you guys kind of did it well before everybody else did it, right?
We like to think that it started here. California and the West Coast is really known for farming. And I would say the bulk of what you're eating outside of the state probably comes from us. And then the Central Coast itself produces quite a bit. So a few years back, we found out that we were eating and consuming less than 1% of what we were growing here, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We're growing so much. And when that fact came out, it really revolutionized the food scene for Santa Barbara.
The whole food culture here is bursting.
Yes.
How is business going? Still doing Eat This, Shoot That?
Yes.
Which is a kind of a really cool concept.
Thank you. We were the very first food tour company here in Santa Barbara. We started the world's first and still only food and photo tour company. So we're taking you around to 8 different restaurants. You get to taste at each of them within 3 hours. And then we're teaching you how to take better food photos using your smartphone camera.
Well, later on when the food comes, are you able to give me a few tips?
Sure.
Okay, that'd be great.
So today I'm going to be preparing a couple dishes for Gary and Tara. Hope that they're going to really dig them. These are semi-classic dishes that we've had on the menu, kind of a classic. Charcoal avocado. So that charcoal avocado is a simple salad. Comes with pomegranate, pineapple guavas that are just in season right now. A little bit of cara orange, citrus basically, and then lastly, radicchio and escargot. All the ingredients that are in that dish coming from some of our local farmers. It gets a little ponzu in the center of it, a real favorite here. I'd say one of our crowd pleasers. And then the other dish is going to be a seaweed tagliolini, which is basically a seaweed flavored pasta. We have a great following when it comes to our homemade pastas here. The seaweed tagliolini is a caputo flour, seaweed that's been pureed and folded into it, so it's got this really vibrant green color to it. Hope Ranch mussels, manila clams, the Santa Barbara uni butter. It's a real seafood forward dish with elements of the sea, not only in the pasta but also in the dish itself.
Oh, here we go. Here's the food. Thank you.
Absolutely.
There we go. Look at that. Now, this is what you call local produce, right?
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Wow, this is great. So we've got a seafood pasta here, which is green, which is going to look stunning. Which looks stunning, is going to taste great. And this is a grilled avocado with pomegranates, all sorts of wonderful local produce, including what looks like a mandarin.
It's like a blood orange almost.
Yeah. Do you know what? We're not here to eat only. We're here to take some shots.
Yes.
All right. You're going to teach me what to do here.
Okay, so what I want you to do is get in really close.
Yep.
And I'm going to take a shot and then I'm going to show you what it looks
Sure.
like here. You want to blur the background, yeah. And you want to overexpose just a little bit. You want to drag your finger up on the screen.
Yep.
And once you've locked it like this, it's going to keep the camera from readjusting and trying to shoot what was behind the dish.
Okay.
This is my biggest tip. So this is what allows you to get in really nice and close.
Overexpose a little bit, right?
Yeah, always brighten up your food a little
my
bit.
God.
And so the closer you get, the more blurred out it's going to be.
There we go. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Love it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's try some of this, shall we? Now we've got our photographs. Let's try some of this pasta.
Okay.
So we're just sharing. We're going family style. So let's.
Sounds good.
Let's only get a little bit of this pasta on here,
Yes.
and
Oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
we've got a lot of seafood here too. Look at that. Tara,
So good.
this garlic, just stunning.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This tastes so good.
Yeah. Really green, really full, really fresh, really delicious.
Really good.
Alrighty. Do you want to try some of the avocado?
Sure.
Go ahead. So this is grilled,
Yes.
obviously. Oh wow, look at all the juice that's flooding out of there. This is going to be great. Let's try some of that. What do you think of the avocado?
It's really good.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to finish up here. You're going to take me to a place that's really special to your heart.
So Arnoldi's is where my husband and I had our rehearsal dinner before our wedding.
Let's finish up and get down there, shall we?
Okay.
Tara really knows some great restaurants in Santa Barbara. Her choice for our next restaurant is Arnoldi's Cafe. This Italian bistro also happens to be Santa Barbara's oldest restaurant.
So Arnoldi's Cafe, we originally opened in 1937 down the block over here on Coda Street, and then now we're basically over here since 1940. It's traditional Italian. It's garlic, it's oregano, it's basil, it's your traditional tomato sauces. But you get the scent of garlic in the air as soon as the chefs start cooking the meals for the day. It's actually been certified a historic building as well with the Santa Barbara Historic Society, so it's something that we're one of the few longest standing, lasting restaurants here in Santa Barbara.
Alrighty, look at this. So this is a Santa Barbara institution.
Arnoldi's.
Arnoldi.
Yes.
See, I kind of feel like when you walk in here, and I've been to the villages in Italy, there's a little bit of this.
Yes.
Right.
This is the homiest Italian restaurant you're probably going to come to in Santa Barbara.
This area was like once Little Italy, right?
Right. Yeah. So historically, this is where Little Italy started for Santa Barbara.
What's the history here? I mean, the building looks like it's been here forever.
So this is an historic building in Santa Barbara. The original family has owned this property and building since the 1940s. 2015, they deemed this an historic property, so the footprint has to stay the same.
They can't do any changes.
They can't do any major renovation changes.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's nice. It preserves some of the architectural beauty and history of the city.
I agree.
This is as close as you're probably going to get to Italy and Santa Barbara.
So what are we eating today?
We're going to be having a little bit of pasta today.
Thank God. This is the best place to get it from, right?
Yes.
So we're making 3 of our well-known dishes. Our first one is our rotolo, a vegetarian dish. It's a lasagna noodle wrapped with ricotta and also spinach with a spinach sauce as well. We have our gnocchi tricolor, which is a gnocchi we make here in-house from scratch, a potato gnocchi with 3 different sauces, pomodoro, a gorgonzola, and then also a pesto. And then we have also our lasagna bolognese, our traditional lasagna. I think it's going to be an amazing experience for them. It's been here for 80 years in the same location, and the recipes have been around this long for a reason here, and I think it's going to be something they're going to love.
Okay, here it comes. Oh, wow. This looks great. Thank you. This is a feast. This is going to be a great Italian feast. Thank you so much. Look at that. Thank you, sir. Oh. Alrighty, let's do family style again. And we'll share. So what have we got here? This is like a pomodoro, obviously. This is a...
Yeah, this is a gnocchi. This is their tricolore. Their lasagna, which I hear has 6 layers in it.
Okay, let me try this. This is a spinach rotolo. This is going to be great. Jump in and don't wait for me to serve you. Okay. This is great. Let's try some of this. Wow. Okay. Very, very heavy spinach. Lots of cream and quite a thick pasta as well. On a winter's night, that would fill you up and make you sing.
Oh my gosh, this is rainy day food. This is really good.
Really hearty food. I want to try the pesto version of the gnocchi here.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
The gorgonzola.
That is really, really great gnocchi. Quite thick and really kind of
pillowy.
And the pesto sauce on top is just absolutely magnificent.
The gorgonzola is creamy. Perfect.
Is that right? Let me try these 6 layers of lasagna here. That is so big. That's the American version of Italian food. That's my favorite. That tomato sauce is obviously made in-house. Herbs, the cheese. You need to try some of that.
Okay, I'm going in.
For sure.
This is amazing.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh my gosh.
That sauce is kind of like...
That sauce is everything.
It's not
so
too
good.
sweet.
No, it's perfect.
All right, we've got a lot of food here to eat, and it's the end of the day, so we can just go nuts. But when we've done that, I want to challenge you to some bocce outside.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
You're on.
Thanks for coming on the tour with us. Join us next time as we continue our tasting journey throughout America. It's not very often I find myself in a place that feels as magical as today's location, boasting magnificent beaches, a relaxing lifestyle, and delicious fresh seafood. I love what this region has to offer because today I'm in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Located right on the coast of Massachusetts, Cape Cod is a major hotspot for tourism over the summer months. Made up of 15 unique coastal towns, the area Cape Cod is the perfect holiday destination. A brilliant spot for those who want to get away from the major cities and enjoy the beaches and indulge in some of the freshest seafood you'll ever taste. Today I meet Sean, a local fisherman, who will tell me about Cape Cod and its fresh seafood.
So all these boats have access to the bay, and if they want to get to the outer cape, they go out and around P-Town or through the canal to get to the outside.
I also met Sean's father, JC, at a cafe located right on the water, where I try an iconic lobster roll. So I mean, how many lobsters would you sell a day?
Somewhere around between 800 and 1,000.
Out of here?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I learned from Aidan how to perfectly crack a lobster at his legendary family restaurant, Skipper Chowder House. That has got to be one of the biggest lobster tails I've ever seen in my life. And it's really messy.
Well, that's why we have the bibs. You're in the splash zone.
And later I see Chef Charles work his magic at his new restaurant, Sea Salt, where he shows me a delicious creation with some freshly caught tuna. But the tuna is the hero there. You can really taste the meat. That's so fresh and just
Every day.
So delicious. We are heading to Cape Cod, a wonderful little area which is near Boston. The area we're in now is South Dennis, and we're heading into a little harbour which is right here. A gorgeous little place. There's a bit of a beach, there's a wonderful water inlet here and a marina, and the sun's out. It is just a beautiful location here in Cape Cod. So we're going to get with Sean. He's a local born and bred guy here. He's a humble guy like the locals are, and knows these waters like the back of his hand. You must be Sean.
Gary, how are you?
I am great. I love your area here, Cape Cod.
Welcome.
It is beautiful. Thanks for putting the sun out today.
You're welcome. It's what we do. It's what we do down here.
So, I mean, you are born and bred here?
Born and raised, grew up in Sandwich. Family business in Dennis for 23 years.
Wow. So what is Cape Cod? I mean, this is my first time here. It's an area, right?
Yeah, it's a peninsula. So the Bourne Bridge and the Sagamore Bridge get all the tourists and everybody over here in the summertime. And there are, believe it or not, some of us locals that live here year round and enjoy the quiet time in the winter. Fall and spring are nice, and then the summers are busy time to accommodate everybody that wants to come down and enjoy what the Cape's all about.
Yeah, right. So where do they come from? Like, where are the tourists coming from?
Everywhere. It's a good destination for families that don't have to deal with flying.
Oh, of course.
So, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York. It's an accessible area for people to come and visit.
So this area here is kind of like the boats here, I guess, are all for locals, are they?
Locals and, you know, families with summer homes down here. We're on the north side, so we're on the bay side here.
Yep.
So all these boats have access to the bay, and if they want to get to the outer Cape, they go out and around P-Town or through the canal to get to the other side.
Would they want to be on the other side though? I mean, is the fishing any different?
All depends. Time of year, everything, but that's how they would get to the vineyard or Nantucket.
Oh, Martha's Vineyard, right?
Exactly.
Okay, right. Which is kind of all the rich people, right?
It all depends.
Okay, it's a bit of...
All places have their perks.
Well, here, I think there's some rich people around here. I mean, just driving in here, the houses are incredible.
It's a nice neighborhood.
Is that your big house up there on the hill?
It's not, no. Nope.
You're a fisherman. You love getting on the boat. In fact, after we're finished here, you are out of here.
I'm out of here. It's Tuesday.
What's it all about, the boating thing here? We're going to catch some fish. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, the striper season now. The tuna are coming in.
Yeah.
There's always decent flounder fishing out there. Some smaller fish, tautog, black sea bass.
Beautiful. So the food here is all about seafood, I'm guessing. Is that right?
We have a little bit of everything for everybody. I have the raw bar, so we have oysters, little neck, shrimp, steamers and all that. We still have our lobsters, boiled lobster dinners, steak tips, burgers, chicken sandwiches, all that.
Amazing.
So there's something for everybody.
Well, anyway, you go and do some fishing.
I gotta get fishing.
Good luck with your tuna today.
Thank you.
And I hope it all works, bro. You've been amazing. Thanks, Sean.
Nice to meet you, Gary.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy your time on Cape.
So I'm going to meet up with Sean's dad, JC. He owns the local cafe here. So he's been working this place for over 20 years. Keen to meet him, get the goss on the local area and find out more about Cape Cod. So JC, how you doing? Oh, let me get in here.
Fantastic.
Oh, there we
it's
go.
A small picnic table.
I know, right? Thanks for inviting us down here.
Absolutely.
Like seriously, this is heaven. This is where you work?
This is where I work every day. Yeah, I come here every morning at 5:15, 7 days a week for 6 months.
Wow. And what's that like?
It's the best thing in the world to watch sunrise here. The baker's baking, boys are cooking the bacon, it smells good, and it's the best spot to be in, as you can see.
And honestly, this is just heaven. So you owned the Sasua Harbour Cafe for years, right?
Correct. I think this is probably year 23.
Okay.
When I first arrived, it was a little different.
Okay.
It was just me that showed up. And
was the building here?
The building was here. It was an old dive building and a fishing tackle type store.
Okay.
So we put a little kitchen in and off we went.
Just sitting here, listening to him, watching the boats go in and out and showing the fat. It's you know, I've got a pretty good job. We're having some lobster today, right?
We're going to try a little bit of lobster.
Is it local
Cape
lobster?
Cod lobster?
For real? So
It
it's just come
is.
out of here?
It is.
Okay.
Actually, this guy right over here in the Dorothea Isabel,
Okay.
he's one of our better lobster guys here in the harbor. He probably has 500 traps out.
Wow, that's amazing. So
Yeah, yeah.
we'll taste some of the lobster that's just come off the boat. I think here it comes now.
So you're going to see a little bit of breakfast here, which we incorporate our
wow, thank you.
lobster
Look at
into.
that. Oh wow, look at this.
Yeah. What do we have here? This would be our lobster roll.
Great, and we got some.
And that right there is a salmon, smoked salmon. So that's a duck trap salmon, it's called,
Okay.
and it's out of Maine, one of the nicest smoked salmon you can get. And we do some eggs Benedict over that.
That's so cool. This is great lobster, local lobster, and awesome.
Yep.
Well, should we give it a taste?
Oh, absolutely.
So look at that. Now that is what I call fresh. Probably off the Dorothy, probably this morning. Let's have a taste. That's really tender. That's really falling apart. You know, some lobster can be chewy.
Poached nicely.
Yeah. The lobster is really delicious. Love how inside the lobster roll, the portions are really big, like the pieces of meat. Often when you go get a lobster roll around other locations in America, they chop up the lobster meat, so it kind of loses its quality, I guess. This is great quality because you can't hide it. It's just chunks of meat. Absolutely falls apart in your mouth. Steamed to perfection. Great location. What's not to like? So you're poaching that right here, right?
That is correct. Yep, we've got a steamer that, 3 of them that run all day long. We throw the crustaceans in, out they come, we break them open, and then you're finding that in our,
oh my God,
on a large scale.
So I mean, how many lobsters would you sell a day?
Somewhere around between 800 and 1,000.
Out of here?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So now we've got a wonderful
poached egg. With hollandaise and smoked salmon.
Amazing. This is salmon from...
That's from Maine. That's a duck trap, it's called.
Really wonderful. And that hollandaise is really, really tasty.
Yeah, yeah.
Got a real zing to it.
Yeah, homemade.
Just gorgeous. We have an eggs Benedict with smoked salmon on a muffin. Biting into that, there is a wonderful smoky flavor that's coming from delicious salmon. Then there is the poached egg. On top of it though, there is this amazing hollandaise sauce. There's something in the sauce. It's probably one of my favorite Benedict sauces that I've tasted. Honestly, just really great way to do breakfast. I like what I see about Cape Cod. I've got a whole day of eating here and I am excited about the food and the people and most definitely the location. In Cape Cod, there are beaches, there are friendly people, and there is lobster. So today I'm going to head down to the Skipper restaurant right on the beach. It's going to be tasty, I hope, and we're going to meet some great people. Aiden.
Gary, how are you? Welcome to the Skipper Chowder House.
Are you kidding me? You're welcoming me to... I get the pleasure of doing this. I'm in the most beautiful area. Hopefully this is going to be a great restaurant and amazing, great people.
Well, I can tell you, there's great people, great food, and it's a great view.
Well, that's biased because you own the restaurant, right?
Yes, and all of our family will tell you the same exact thing.
Yeah, right.
But we have a great menu today for you. We're going to have some amazing Bloody Marys, a lobster steam pot. I got a big, huge 3-pound lobster for you to try.
For real?
And I'm going to teach you how to crack it.
All right, let's do it. Let's go. Alrighty, so this is kind of where it all happens. And what on earth is this?
Well, we like to think of it as a meal in a glass. It's our signature build your own Bloody Mary bar. So we did 2 versions today. Mine is our seafood version, which is scallops and bacon, a lobster tail, jumbo shrimp, the whole kit and caboodle. We have more for the landitarian, some cheese and pepperoni.
There's a thing called landitarian?
I think I just made it up, but it sounds good. Mini cheeseburger, bacon, and a Slim Jim.
You should be ashamed of yourself. This is gluttony at its absolute best. And it's fantastic.
Americans do it that way.
I know, right? Absolutely, it's so good.
Go big or go home.
So the Bloody Mary comes out, and I can't believe my eyes. This is a feast above the glass, even before you've drank the Bloody Mary. I mean, there's a burger on mine. There's a burger on my Bloody Mary. Where else can you get this? So this is a Bloody Mary, so there's alcohol in this, right?
Yes.
Well, we should start off there because I think it's just going to go somewhere after that. So let's have a taste. Ooh. Oh wow. You can really taste the tomatoes are fresh.
So we make our mix in-house here.
Yeah.
So we use fresh tomato juice, some horseradish, a few secret spices and herbs. It has a little bit of a kick to it.
The Bloody Mary tastes fresh, so it's not like that horrible soupy kind of canned tomato, which I just do not like. This is fresh tomato juice, and it has a little bit of beet. It has all these kind of other things in there. It's a really delicious, nice drink. Maybe a little early for me, but I'm doing a food show. That's fresh. That's really, really nice.
So we're open from 11 to 11 daily. This is our #1 selling cocktail, and people stop drinking Bloody Marys after 4 o'clock. We sell so many because people like to add the works to their Bloody Marys. It's quite insane.
I mean, this area is just so beautiful. I mean, I think I've fallen in love with Cape Cod.
Cape Cod is a unique place.
It really is.
It's quite beautiful. So right now we're across from Nantucket Sound, which is quite beautiful to see. We have the National Seashore on Cape Cod.
Okay.
There's beautiful scenes, beautiful beaches.
There are so many accommodation places, like there are hotels and motels and everything right along the shore here, right?
There's 600 hotels or 600 hotel rooms on the street, and we're the only restaurant. So location,
you have cornered the market.
My mom and dad purchased a restaurant in 1999. The Skipper Chowder House has been here since 1936. So it's been family owned and operated for over 20 years. I was 6 when they purchased it.
Do you remember running around?
Yeah, oh, it was quite crazy. It's why I fell in love with the business.
Okay.
When you're a kid and you're growing up eating lobster rolls whenever you want, I sound spoiled just saying it. It creates a love for the food industry.
Yeah, I love it. Catching up with Aiden. Aiden has been in the business since he was 6 years old, would you believe? His parents bought this restaurant when he was young, and they've kind of developed it into this kind of powerhouse icon right here in Cape Cod. And here comes something. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Thank you so much.
So what you're looking at here is a traditional Cape Cod clam bake.
It smells great.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's on steroids because we brought a 3-pound lobster in.
Yeah. Oh, it's more?
Especially for you.
This lobster is huge. It's a 3-pounder. Looks like about 10 pounds as far as my eyes can see. There is so much meat in this thing, and he's going to show me how to pull it apart and eat it.
We have some mussels, steamers, linguiça sausage, corn on the cob, and red bliss potatoes. And what I'm going to do today is kind of show you how to eat it.
Okay.
We have a lot of people that will come to the restaurant, they'll order items like this, and they'll have no idea what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
So first thing we want to do is we don't want to ruin our nice outfits. Okay. So in typical Cape Cod fashion, we have to don our lobster bibs.
Okay. Things are getting serious.
Oh yeah.
So Aiden's going to show me how to break open a lobster today. I haven't done it on my own before, so I'm interested to get the lowdown on how to go about it. So it's going to be great and a lot of fun and hopefully tasty.
This is a 3-pound lobster.
Yeah.
And what I do is we'll take it out of the pot.
Yeah, wow.
We're going to twist and pull the tail, just like so.
Oh, okay, yep.
Now the red, that's called roe.
Okay.
That's the lobster eggs.
Okay.
So
people like to eat that?
People love it. Yep. People try it. Then we go 1 fin, 2 fins.
Oh, so you just do one at a time. See, my mistake is I try and pull them all off at once.
Yes. It's like Dr. Seuss. 1 fin, 2 fin, 3 fin, blue fin, red fish, blue fish.
Okay.
We'll push, pop.
Yep.
And now we have our whole tail.
That is massive. That has got to be one of the biggest lobster tails I've ever seen in my life. And it's really messy. It's
well, that's why we have the bibs. You're in the splash zone. This is one of the most argued things here.
Yeah.
Is tail meat better than knuckle and claw meat?
Oh, it's quite warm. Oh, yum. And I'm getting a bit of that roe as well. Mmm.
Make sure you dip it in butter too.
Oh,
we're
really?
going all in.
This is the butter here?
Yep.
Oh my God. The meat's coming out, there's roe still in there as well. I've never had lobster like this before. Tasting the tail, it's delicious meat. So good. I feel like an animal. I'm breaking the beast apart with my bare hands.
We're earning our meal.
Yeah.
So we break the knuckle just like there. And what I use is to really feel like an animal. We'll push all the meat out with my fingers, pass it right to you.
Okay, great. Mmm. Oh yeah.
It's a little bit more tender.
It's tender, and it kind of falls apart in your mouth.
Exactly. Now this beats for me.
What a great place. The Skipper Restaurant in Cape Cod. It is an institution. So we are heading to Sea Salt. It's a fairly new restaurant by an English chef who has studied at multiple Michelin restaurants. So I'm excited to see what he's going to cook for me today. So it's going to be a bit of fun. And Charles, great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, the pleasure's all mine because I get to eat the good food, right?
Hey, I mean, wait and see.
It's great to meet someone with an English accent in Cape Cod. How did that happen?
You know, a little bit of chance. My grandparents came to the US in like 1970, built a house, so I used to spend all of my summers here when I was a kid. And then went to school, started cooking when I was like 21 out of college in Boston, went around the country, went back to Europe for a little while. And then, you know, knew that I wanted to build out a restaurant that had some kind of like family history to it. And that's of what brought me back to the Cape.
I love it. We are here for a reason because we've heard that you're doing amazing things. I mean, you've trained at some, quite a few Michelin chefs restaurants.
Yeah.
You've crammed like 5 years in cooking. You've done what people would normally do in 10 years. It's kind of cool what's going on here.
It's fun.
He's done a great job. He's only young. I can't believe he's only 27 years old, and this is what he's built. It is just really a credit to him. I mean, have you done a winter here yet?
I have, yeah. So I've done one winter here. Winter was good. I mean, Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays were still pretty busy. In the wintertime, we get to dial things up a little bit. We get to do a little bit more playful food. We get to experience, you know, be a little bit more creative, do some more fun things.
Well, in the winter, because you've got that oven like right here in the restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
How cool would that be? That'd just warm this place up, right?
It's great, and I do large format roasts. I've done some sourdough pizza. I've done a whole bunch of fun things for that.
Today I've had a lot of lobster. I'm okay if chef doesn't cook lobster today. I'm okay to have something completely different. We've had so much lobster today that if I have another one, I don't know what I'm going to do, right?
Don't worry, no lobster for you today. We're going to
Fantastic.
have some beautiful Falmouth tuna. So we're going to do a yellowfin tuna tartare.
So today he's cooking a tuna tartare with a wonderful base of avocado and all sorts of kind of interesting things. It's fresh, it's seasonal, and it's going to be great because tuna's in season right now, so it should be nice and fresh.
Raw fish, specifically tuna, is delicious. I grew up eating it. My Italian grandmother, she used to make it all the time. Got some beautiful yellowfin tuna. I work with a fisherman called the Clam man, who is a local fisherman. He's been here doing his thing for many years.
Yep.
So I get some fresh Falmouth yellowfin.
Well, I mean, tuna's just come right on right now.
Oh yeah, just come into season. I'm going to season it very simply with a little olive oil. I've got some smashed avocado here, folded through with a little bit of sour cream, some lemon juice, some more of the olive oil, little togarashi for some spice.
Yep. So that's okay. So I can see some little red dots in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just a little bit of heat. It's not enough to be like, oh, this is spicy, but just enough to like warm your taste buds up and give you that like scent of warmth that kind of like balances through the dish.
So just olive oil, really? That's all that's in that?
Olive oil, some fresh lemon juice, and then this, which is amazing. It's like a little secret weapon. Smoked molten sea salt.
Okay.
It adds a little depth of flavor.
So how much lemon was it? That wasn't a lot of lemon, which is...
It's basically
because sometimes the lemon can sort of overpower everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You want it to basically just be nicely seasoned. You want it to have enough acidity to cut through the fat from the fatty fish, the fat of the avocado, but not too much where it's going to become too acidulated and it's not very nice to eat. So we're just going to go ahead and pile some of this beautiful tuna.
Amazing. So just while you're doing that, now you have a changing menu. One of the few restaurants here that change your menu all the time, which is great for your creativity, but that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. I'm sure the guests love it, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My cooks sometimes dislike me very intensely because I'll come in and I'll just change everything because I get bored very easily.
Okay.
And guests love it, and it pushes us to constantly bring in, you know, the freshest ingredients possible, as many different things as we can. All right, so this is a little vinaigrette. We're using radicchio. Radicchio is a bitter lettuce. It's going to have a lot of bitterness and a little bit of texture and crunch. So I wanted something that had a little bit of sweetness to cut through some of the bitterness. So this is basically like a little soy vinaigrette.
Okay, great.
But it's got some mirin, it's got some rice wine vinegar, it's got a lot of kind of different yummy things.
Okay, great.
Gonna take this and we're gonna put it on top, and then we're gonna finish with some orange zest.
Okay. It's a pretty looking dish too. Great for Instagram.
Yeah.
And we're letting some of that sauce just flow through into the tuna, which is kind of okay.
Absolutely. We're going to finish this by taking a little bit more of the sauce that's on the vinaigrette.
Okay, so that's okay to pour right on there.
Going around on top.
Yum, that looks so good.
And then we're going to finish finally with a little bit of orange zest.
Okay.
And orange zest and tuna work really nicely together.
For real? Okay. I've never had that.
And as opposed to
Great.
like orange juice, you're just gonna get some of the perfume and some of the
Okay.
like really nice citrus notes. And then you have like avocado and tuna, and the textures are both super soft. So I'm just adding a few crispy shallots over the top, just so you get like that nice roundness and texture with everything.
Yeah, love that.
And that is...
That was very simple, very easy, but obviously it's all in the preparation, right? So it's kind of all done.
Basically every step of the way, from the avocado, from the tuna, from the vinaigrette, all the pieces have been seasoned aggressively and layered so that when everything comes together, that bite that you eat is delicious.
Look at that. That is just fantastic. Let's try some of this. I'm going to put some shallot on that thing right there. Oh, look at that. Really fantastic. Yum. The crunch from the shallot is the bit I love. The avocado, kind of smashed avocado with the spices, is really where a lot of the flavor's coming from. That's where I'm getting the heat. I'm so glad that the lemon doesn't overpower everything. You can really taste the tuna. It is really a lovely fish. And the sauce on there, I don't know what it's got in that vinaigrette, but it's really punchy as well. For me, my favorite part is the shallot crunch on top of it. That, for me, makes everything just sick. There's so much going on there. That avocado is just stunning with that little bit of punch to it.
A little bit of warmth in the back.
But the tuna is the hero there. You can really taste the meat. That's so fresh and just
Every day.
so delicious. And the salt, amazing. What an amazing dish. So my time in Cape Cod has been a very nice one. In fact, I want to come back here and maybe go for a vacation. I would highly recommend Cape Cod. It's a wonderful location. The Venice of America, once considered a retirement spot, this city has become an exciting travel destination and a thriving multicultural community. And with such proximity to the ocean, restaurants here provide some of the freshest seafood in the state. Today we take a plunge into the exciting world of independent eateries and life on the water, here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We hit a rooftop bar for some handmade cocktails.
This cocktail doesn't just taste delicious, it's pretty.
I take a cooking class with one of the most creative chefs in Florida.
What we do is we create a theme or an experience, and then we feature that on our website, and if the guest likes it, they can buy a ticket just like they would a movie.
I love that. We take a water taxi to one of the freshest seafood spots in town.
Our beautiful seafood in Florida, so we've got a very light, fresh ceviche.
Of course.
Tuna ceviche with some Florida citrus.
And before we leave, we visit the Arts District for some authentic Italian fare.
Pasta every day.
For real?
A little vino 3-4 times a week.
My trip begins in the heart of downtown. This rooftop bar features an open-air patio that sits high above the city.
Welcome to Greater Fort Lauderdale.
What a great place and what a great bar.
Oh, it's amazing. Why don't we go have a cocktail and talk about it?
Let's do it. Tiki plantation punch, a little bit of citrus, blueberry, and passion fruit gives it that little acidity, that bite. Pineapple infused rum, very popular.
Tiki plantation punch and a garden party cocktail.
This cocktail doesn't just taste delicious, it's pretty. This is the garden party. A little bit of lemon juice, homemade strawberry simple syrup. That's the secret. It's 2 secrets. Fresh pressed cucumber juice too. A little Tito's, vodka. Prosecco. Beautiful strawberry and basil.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This rooftop bar is like got so much cachet. How cool is this place?
It's very cool.
You can see pretty much all around downtown here too.
Yep, it's a great view.
Yeah.
It's a great view, and honestly, especially at night. It's clearly not open during the day, but at night it becomes a really great place to just hang out after work.
Yeah.
You know, you want to relax with your friends, chill, have a nice cocktail.
Famous for their handcrafted cocktails and delicious bites, this place is perfect for enjoying panoramic views of the city. It's such a great looking place. I mean, all the canals just make the place look so pretty.
We're called the Venice of America for a reason.
Yeah.
We have a great canal system here. You actually don't have to set foot on land if you're traveling from point A to point B until you get to where you're going.
So the water is a big part of living here, right?
It is. We are a water culture-based society. And even if you don't paddleboard or kayak or fish, there's always water around, and I find water very calming.
Yeah. What do you love about living here?
I loved the fact that when my children were little, they were in shorts and t-shirts all year round.
Well, all year round,
My
right?
kids have never been in a snowsuit. Flip-flops is our trade here. You can wear flip-flops pretty much anywhere.
I love that. People from all over the world are travelling here for the perfect climate and laid-back atmosphere. This city is evolving into a youthful cultural hub.
We have a vibrant economy here. We have a booming economy here.
We can tell by the cranes.
Oh my gosh, it's just the building is, we've always been a growing community, but our philosophy is that if you don't grow and evolve, then you die.
Yeah, for sure.
So we continue to not only evolve in what the skyline looks like, but in our philosophies about life here and growing people's ability to achieve and succeed here. And while tourism is our #1 industry, we also recognize you can't just have an economy based on one industry.
Absolutely.
So we've got a tech industry here and a pharma industry here. We've got a convention center.
A true melting pot, this city is home to people from various ethnic backgrounds.
There are 90 languages spoken in households in Greater Fort Lauderdale.
Wow.
So we are an incredibly diverse community.
Yeah, there's a big gay community here, right?
Huge gay community, and we actually pride ourselves on that. We are a safe place to visit and live. We are really focusing on the transgender community.
Wow,
it's a much more, it's a different way to travel if you're trans, and we are extremely sensitive to their needs, both as a CVB and in the hotel community at large.
Yeah.
And we do sensitivity training, how you want to be identified, how you self-identify. We're a diverse community, and we actually believe we are what was meant by the American melting pot.
This restaurant is home to one of the most creative chefs in the city. His intimate 26-seat venue offers a unique experience built around an ever-changing menu. This is such a cool concept, isn't it?
I actually love it. It's one of the most fun times I've ever had.
Well, the thing is, you're part of the entertainment. I mean,
Well, they can choose to sit at the table, or if they want to come over and heckle me, they get the counter. But see, some people like to talk on their own. Some people enjoy the interaction with the chef.
Yeah, I love that.
What we do is we create a theme or an experience, and then we feature that on our website, and if the guest likes it, they can buy a ticket just like they would a movie.
I love that. For the dish, the chef prepares dates, vinegars, applewood bacon, goat's cheese, and some sweet syrups.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Medjool dates that I already have some stuff with goat cheese, but I'm going to teach you how to pit them.
Okay, great.
And put some goat cheese in.
Great.
What I have here is just some regular goat cheese that you can buy in a store in the little logs. I put it inside a pastry bag and let it soften up to a room temperature.
Yep.
So then we just pipe it right down the center. Go ahead, you do that right there.
It's a really unusual combination. Goat's cheese and dates. Like sweet and then kind of like...
Goat cheese and fruit is not so uncommon. So what this dish does is it hits all the compasses of your palate. You're gonna get sweet, you're gonna get salty, you're gonna get pungent, you're gonna get the salt, the sour.
A powerhouse in there.
And that's the whole idea. It's one nice, powerful bite.
This meal was shaping up to be like nothing I've ever tasted.
So if you can start to see,
look at that.
you're getting a little golden color, and then the fat's rendering out. And this bacon grease, we're gonna get a little bit out, but it's actually part of the sauce. First thing you're gonna add, balsamic and sherry vinegars.
Okay.
Then a 1/4 cup of each. Okay. Again, don't breathe through your nose. Now you're putting in honey.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Orange juice concentrate.
All right, okay. Who would have thought?
I like doing that because it is it's a great way to get an intense orange flavor without watering down your dish too much.
Okay. Honey, orange juice, and even maple syrup. Now this is a unique concoction.
It's designed that when you put these dates in, by the time the sauce turns into a syrup, that your dates are just heated enough to where your cheese isn't melting out. It's not molten in the center. This is some nice Canadian amber maple syrup.
The smell is so good. Can't wait to try a bite.
Oh wow, that's really quite thick now.
Take out the date.
Yep. A little bit of put a bit of bacon on there as well, right?
Well, we're gonna finish this sauce with the butter. We're gonna get the dates out first.
Yep.
And this is a very nice, good. If you're entertaining, this is such a great dish. You can still get that little wisp of vinegar. It's not as intense as it was in there.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, you can really smell the maple syrup.
So then now we'll put a little bit, not all of this butter. So your butter should be chilled because you want to be able to mount it in. You never just drop it in. You pop your butter in there and you make sure you're able to stand on top of it. That way you get a nice creamy texture.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's
so then what I'll do is I'll take the bacon right there.
Wow, look at that.
A little bit of your greens.
Okay, it's not just for garnish. It has a little bit of a texture to it.
No, they have a purpose. They definitely have a purpose. And if you taste one of those, you'll see it's got a nice, intense, mustardy bite.
Oh yeah.
And then for when you're entertaining, you can just take each one, help yourself.
Yeah, look at that. And that's it. That looks absolutely fantastic. Let's try this, shall we?
And you see how the cheese is just the right temperature on the inside?
Oh yeah. Wow. That is a very rich, powerful.
It makes a statement.
Smack you in the mouth. Wonderful dish. That just tastes so damn good.
"18 miles of waterways provides the city with an unusual and exciting way to travel round. The water taxis breeze through man-made water canals, creating a unique sightseeing experience."
Someone said to me the best way to see Fort Lauderdale is from the water.
Absolutely. It's a great city to explore from the water. Canals, waterways, we got the ocean, we got everything you need here on the water.
When I saw all the waterways, I thought this is such a great character because water brings so much to a town, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
There is so much water, so many canals here. Like, I mean, honestly, in all my travels, I've never seen so many canals. Yeah. People come to this area because they come here for the warm weather, and warm weather means you want to get on the water. So what does living on the water mean? What does it mean for people who live here?
Tranquility.
Okay.
That's it, right there, tranquility. You get up in the morning, it's so calm.
Water is certainly a big part of life here in Fort Lauderdale. 23 miles of beaches coupled with beautiful water canals make it a city that is truly one of a kind.
This is a great place.
Yes.
Okay, now we're talking. This is like a bit of a mansion, right?
Yes, actually that particular mansion is interesting. It was built around a tree. Oh. There's a beautiful cypress tree in the middle of there. They didn't want to destroy the tree, so they actually built the home around the tree.
That makes a lot of sense. These are beautiful. Look at this house here. It's absolutely gorgeous. That's very luxurious. That kind of like Spanish style.
It can be yours.
And look at the size of the dock. You could park 2 boats on that thing.
Absolutely. It's for sale.
Wow. Oh wow.
This particular home right here.
Oh yeah.
Harry Potter house right there. And the turf that you see in the backyard is actually golf course quality turf.
Beautiful.
Home to many speedboats and super yachts, the intercoastal waterways are a playground for celebrities and billionaires. Here we find some of the most valuable properties in the country.
All right, so what's this one here? This looks pretty ostentatious.
Yes, this is Wayne Huizinga's home, the original home. He's had several homes.
Now, he's the guy who kind of started the whole canal thing,
well,
right?
He was very instrumental in the development of Fort Lauderdale, indeed.
Wow.
The home actually started as one home and just added on to the house. It goes all the way across. It goes all the way around the point on the other side there, around the pagoda there that you see.
Just amazing. Most of the people who live here are retired, is that right?
I wouldn't say the most, quite a few though, okay. Quite a few. Yeah, there's a lot of old, let's put it this way, there's a lot of old money here.
Okay.
Despite its reputation as a retirement spot, the city is growing at an astonishing rate.
So what's the entry price to kind of own one of these?
Goodness, several $1 million. Not uncommon in the New River here, and to be in the area of about 10 million and up.
Wow, because you're on the water, right?
You're on the water with your own seawall. You're right here.
And you can park your yacht out the front.
Absolutely.
And then your life is just perfect.
Yep, some of the yachts are bigger than the homes.
Located in the Marriott's Harbour Beach Resort, 3030 Ocean Restaurant features a beautiful view and a unique daily menu.
Fort Lauderdale is all about water.
Yes.
It is everywhere here. Not only is it out in sea, but it seeps right into the whole city.
That's true.
Has that played a part in the menu?
Yeah, and the restaurant's called 3030 Ocean, so we definitely try to make seafood a major focus. My best seafood provider, he sends me a list every day with what fish came in and where it was caught. So
this is a real challenge for you because then you need to kind of adapt the menu, right?
Yes.
Daily almost.
yes, daily we can change the menu based on what's available, what's freshest, what's looking great. I definitely wanted to highlight our beautiful seafood in Florida. So we've got a very light, fresh ceviche, tuna ceviche with some Florida citrus, some clams, and then we've got a whole fried yellowtail snapper, and those come from Key West.
Let's try it, shall we?
Having heard so much about Florida's unique cuisine, I can't wait to dig in and experience this culinary feast.
So we've got some beautiful fresh tuna that's caught in Fort Pierce, Florida. And it's just mixed with some Florida citrus. There's oranges and chilies.
That's
cilantro.
gorgeous. I really love the way that Florida does ceviche a little different from everywhere else in the country.
Yeah.
Because you do this whole citrus thing.
Yeah, we do a lot of citrus, and ours is fresh. It's not marinated for a long time for that. And then it's also balanced out with a little olive oil.
Great.
So
And this is
these are crispy yucca chips. So yucca, if you're familiar, they're
you could almost use them for the scoop.
Yes, absolutely. We should do that. Let's
try it.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Well, you've already tried it, but let me try it. I'm going to make sure I get some of that citrus on there because that's going to make a big difference to the taste, right?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, what a wonderful dish. It's so damn tasty. And these chips, you do these?
We do, yes.
Beautiful. Wow, that is absolutely sensational.
Chef Adrian works with trusted local fishermen to source only the freshest seafood in town. Depending on what the ocean has to offer, the chef here knows how to make the most of Florida's unique ingredients.
Oh yeah, I can see. This is gorgeous. Look at that.
And the broth has some chorizo and shallots. Yeah.
Really tasty.
For the main dish, our chef prepared the yellowtail snapper.
I love eating whole fish. I think it's so fun to sit around with friends and just kind of pick the.
Yeah. Oh, you're almost fighting for the food, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're eating the skin and everything.
Yeah, the skin and everything, nice and crispy.
Great. Oh yeah, that looks.
And
really
it'll be
good.
nice and juicy from the bone.
Oh,
Here's
smells so
some
good.
some of the green papaya sauce. So
Let's have a look at this.
you might have a few little bones, but.
Okay. Oh. The fish, just beautiful.
Now we head over to Hollywood, not Tinseltown in California of course, but Florida's own bustling beach.
So we're in Hollywood, which is kind of part of the whole greater Fort Lauderdale area, but Hollywood's its own thing, isn't it?
Yes, Hollywood is like no other place, even though we share our name with our sister city in Los Angeles, which is...
Was it named after Hollywood in LA?
Absolutely, yeah. Joseph Young decided he's like kind of the founder of Hollywood. Hollywood is a very, very unique, eclectic place. We're very proud of that. It's like no other city in this area.
Yep.
And although we are a part of Greater Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood is definitely its own entity.
Downtown Hollywood is full of bars, restaurants and art exhibits.
We really enjoy our own Hollyweird status because it is a very unique, eclectic place, and we have lots of independent businesses, lots of independent restaurants. Everything about Hollywood is very unique and different than a lot of places.
I mean, just driving up and down the road here, you've got the palm trees, which are kind of almost reminiscent of the Hollywood in California. But also there's a little bit of Art Deco in the buildings and stuff.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of like they must be like 1930s, 1920s.
Yeah, the majority of the buildings here are from the 1920s to the 1940s. And if you do walk around, you'll see little historical plaques, and it'll explain each building and why it's historical. There's a lot of Art Deco style. We have some mid-century modern, very, very different types of architecture. So it's not this kind of homogeneous strip mall, everyday kind of situation you have. Everything is very, very unique and different.
Combining a hometown atmosphere with a world-class beach, Hollywood, Florida is a great place to call home.
Recently, the whole arts thing's really taken off here, right? Right behind us, we have the latest mural. But this is one of what, how many? 26?
26, yeah.
Wow.
The Art and Culture Centre in town offers live stage performances, contemporary gallery exhibitions, and an array of art classes.
Why is it so important to have these?
This really revitalized this area. This area was always cute and unique, but because of these beautiful contemporary art murals that we have here, it kind of adds surprises around every corner, especially if you haven't been here, because this is an ongoing project, so it's like we keep adding.
Really? This is great. The thing about art, I mean, art's great. If you could buy one piece of art and have it into your own house, no one's going to see that.
Right.
This is real art, but it's for the masses.
The mural project's goal is to enhance and enrich the existing cultural fabric of local community.
So I've been curating the Downtown Hollywood Mural Project since 2012, since around its inception. I work for the Community Redevelopment Agency of Hollywood, and the way the project works is we work with private property owners who want murals on their wall, who are willing to buy all the materials and anything that the artist needs.
These guys pay for it?
That's right.
Great.
So the property owner pays for the mural, and the CRA of Hollywood, the Community Redevelopment Agency, pays the artist.
Okay, so food. Food here is kind of cool, right?
Oh yeah, we have like almost every different kind of nationality you could think of as far as food. The food here is really wonderful, and one of the greatest things about this place is there's no chain restaurants, really.
Great.
It's all unique, private businesses.
Olivia Restaurant is the brainchild of one of the most renowned restaurateurs in Florida. Olivia was founded on hard work, true love, and sheer passion. With really breathtaking decor, home-inspired recipes, and great attention to detail, this place is one of the most exciting eateries in town.
I've watched my mom cook all her recipes, the pasta. Could not leave the table. Every day we had to have pasta.
How much has that influenced you in your restaurants, your mum's cooking?
It has influenced me a lot because she always cooked very delicately, as you do in a home rather than mass production. But I took that and I brought it into more of a production and continuously redefined the way of cooking in restaurants, because I like to eat very light and I like my customers to eat light. So I don't put all the unnecessary evils.
Inspired by his mother's cooking, the restaurant serves dishes in true Italian fashion, using only the finest, freshest ingredients.
Authenticity of the Italian flavors and cuisine is so evident in your food, which we're about to try in a sec.
I hope so.
But you're serving like 500,000 people per year in the other restaurant.
Yes.
And still keeping that authenticity. This is a modern miracle.
Well, that's what it's all about. That's why I could be there for the last 24 years. Because you can't produce it 2 days before and then serve it. I don't believe in that. We produce it as it goes along. It's like an assembly line. Everybody knows what they do. Everything is organized. And as it goes through the line, it goes right to your plate.
The Italian chef here focuses on the best from each region and creates a unique menu featuring some classic Italian dishes, as well as those that are a little less known.
The chef here is, I don't know why he's not in the movies. Okay. He's a wonderful man, which I had the luck of meeting. And he also told me about his story. He even cooked for the Pope.
For real?
Yes. And he's got a delicate touch. He's got original recipes. And he does everything in a way that just have to taste it. People usually have mozzarella right out of a refrigerator.
Yeah, of course.
This time you have it right out of the mozzarella bar, where he makes it fresh from the curd with hot boiling water and a pinch of salt. You work it until finally is ready like a flower, and there it is on your plate.
Priding itself on following tradition, the chef promises to serve only authentic Italian flavors.
Now, this is the mozzarella you're telling me about that's just been fresh.
Here you go.
Okay, thank you. Look, oh my gosh, that's really, the consistency of that is something else. Okay, let me take this bit here. So what have we got here? We've got some
24-month-old cured prosciutto that's wrapped around the fresh mozzarella.
Yep.
And you can see it in the taste.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely stunning.
Everything at Olivia is about the right ingredients, the right balance, and the right atmosphere.
Let me try one of these.
Okay. We have an everything bagel, lightly toasted.
Oh wow. Look at
with
that.
fresh Scottish smoked salmon.
Okay.
Some sweet onions.
Yep.
What the chef does, which is really unique, he prepares the inside with a touch of cream cheese and a dash of mascarpone cheese.
Okay.
He mixes it all together. That guy's a genius.
So it's a little bit sweet.
And then he spreads it on the bagel.
Yeah.
And the taste is so incredible, only because you put a touch of mascarpone cheese.
Let's try it, shall we? A bagel with mascarpone cheese and
delicious.
Amazing Scottish salmon.
For our main dish, the chef has prepared pasta with Maine lobster, jumbo shrimp and clams. Rich and bursting with flavour, a truly Italian feast.
So on top here we've got what seems to be a
This is a big jumbo shrimp, which we top the dish with.
Can you see the size of that thing?
Look at that. Please.
Just stunning. Thank you so much.
There you go.
This is great Italian food.
At its best.
Oh wow.
Through unique eateries and a vibrant arts culture, Fort Lauderdale is evolving into one of America's most exciting places to live. Thanks for coming on the tour with us. Join us next time as we continue our tasting journey throughout America. This small island off the coast of Florida has become a destination for vacationers and adventurers alike. In the midst of this perfect climate, guests can enjoy great food and rich culture. A culture influenced heavily by the sea that surrounds it. Fresh seafood in almost every meal. Even the art reflects life at sea. Today we immerse ourselves into the fishing culture right here in Key West, Florida. Today, a local historian shows what it's really like to grow up on this island.
This place is fantastic. I absolutely love the island of Key West and the Florida Keys.
We learn Key West history at the Shipwreck Museum.
You know, we're in this museum today, the Shipwreck Treasures Museum. It's all about the story of the salvage history.
I tour the home of this island's most prominent resident.
You know, and most of the mornings is when Hemingway did his writing. Okay. You know, 4 or 5 hours a day, and sometimes longer than that.
Really?
Yeah.
And we catch and cook some local seafood. There are a few places in town that embody the spirit of Key West better than here. It's a world-famous Conch fritter stand, and there's no better guide to a city than the man who's practically the mayor.
So you're the mayor here, right?
I'm actually a generational Key Wester, a native-born conch. But my family's been there for 7 generations. I am not the mayor, but I like to,
7 generations?
Yeah. I like to be an ambassador to my hometown.
So this is a conch shell, and there's something that grows in it, which we're about to eat.
Correct. Okay. And it's fantastic to eat as well, you know. But yes, this is the shell left over from the marine snail.
And they grow around here, right?
They grow throughout the Caribbean and around here as well. I mean, you can walk along the shoreline and see the small baby ones all the way to like a full-grown conch shell.
Okay.
And you know, have the animal inside of it, but the animal, it's a giant snail, you know.
Yuck.
I can't lie, giant snail didn't win me over. but these fritters just look and smell too good to pass up.
The world famous conch fritters here at the conch fritter stand in the heart of Mallory Square.
Look at that. Now there it is. That looks like, to me, like little balls of something.
Well, this is decadence, is what I like to call it. You know, it's a, packed full of vegetables, conch meat. We've got a key lime mustard sauce here as well that we'll dip them in.
So that's what that is.
Yeah.
That's key lime.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's try it. Oh, yum. Mm-hmm. That's really good. Obviously, there's a lot of things in there other than...
Like I said, spices, vegetables, bell peppers, green peppers, red peppers. I mean, you name it. There's some conch meat right up front here as well.
Simple and delicious. There's nothing put to waste. Even the shell has a purpose.
This is great sustenance. It was easy to find during years of Great Depression or taxation even. It's like we would rather eat conch than pay taxes. Was one of the the call signs. From generations ago. But yeah, no. I mean, so it is the icon of the Florida Keys.
Now you guys are really good at not wasting anything. So the shell has a very big use now.
The shell has a huge use down here, and it has for generations as well. And so you can make a horn out of a conch shell.
It's really heavy.
Yes. You might even get a conch on the head. Yeah, no, but yes, no. So the conch shell, you definitely, oftentimes, especially with kids, two hands, but. You can get this to play loud enough that you could, signal somebody on the far end of the island or on another boat. Or...
Let's give it a go. Let's give it a shot.
Give it a shot? Okay, yeah. So here we go. I'll give you a quick sample.
Let's do it.
All right.
I love that. That is so cool.
There you go.
That's a whole nother level. I mean, no, that wasn't a horn. That was actually like a whole instrument. All right, let me give it a go.
All right. I would suggest taking your hand out of it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, there you go.
So
a little more, a little more. Fantastic. We're on our way.
A great start to a journey on this pristine island city. Just down the road, you'll find one of the busiest spots in town. Everything here is handmade. They've got great breakfast, lunch and dinner, so this place is always packed. Whether you're visiting or live down the street, Blue Heaven is a staple in Key West.
Blue Heaven is a terrific restaurant here in town, open 25 plus years. Okay. Terrific food.
We make homemade pancakes. We have a bakery. We make all our breads in the morning, squeeze all our juices. We do an array of omelets. We make our own granola, and we do shrimp and grits.
Well, they're pretty much taking up about a whole block here because the place just keeps going on, right?
Well, Blue Heaven has been here. The original building out on the corner of Thomas and Petronia was built in, I think, 1884.
This is a fantastic city and little island community that has taken all of the different cultures that have come to it over the last 180 plus years and kind of really blended all of those together. And you get this great melting pot, and then you incorporate writers and artists and musicians. I mean, it's perfect.
Hemingway, back in the 30s, refereed boxing matches on the weekends. You can go back in Sports Illustrated and do a study and find out about it. It's called the Blue Goose Arena, right over here where people are dining.
As exciting as this town can be, it's also a great getaway. This island is a great mix between adventure and total relaxation.
You're out here in this perfect Key West climate.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the climate here is pretty spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, outside, open the windows and sit on your front porch, go out and sit in the shade, and you're just like,
It's nice. You wake up in the morning. I like to walk out and get the newspaper, in a towel. It's real easy.
We are a definite vacation format.
People walk in the middle of the street. I mean, they probably shouldn't, but they are. It's kind of like, it's a very relaxed place.
A lot of things to do here. Kayaking, fishing. I love the water. I think a lot of people come here. It's one of the reasons I came down, was to enjoy the beautiful water we have. So we're blessed way down here. We have nice water. It's a great place for seafood. We have fresh yellowtail snapper, that's our local produce. We also have shrimp.
Well, food down here is great because you're so close to the ocean, and shrimp is a big part of what you guys, in fact, we're gonna have shrimp today, right?
Yes, for me, you know, shrimp is one of the go-to iconic items for Key West, the Key West pinks, as we like to call them.
We'll let them try some shrimp and grits and then maybe a piece of key lime pie.
Okay, so this is the shrimp you're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
these are Key West pinks. The shrimp and grits, yeah, they're a phenomenal piece, and yet I would say dig right in. Of course, we have banana bread as well.
Of course.
It's shrimp mixed with Cabot, Vermont sharp cheddar cheese. Then we saute the pink shrimp, serve them on top with a little butter, green onions, and cracked black pepper.
All right, let's give it a try, shall we? Look at that.
Let's do the Key West pink, absolutely. So, I mean, there's a couple, oh, there you go, dig right in, absolutely. That was gonna be my preferred way to eat the Key West pink.
That's really meaty, and they're grown around here.
Yes, these are caught right off of our waters.
Wow.
You know, again, this little tiny creature had played such an important role in Key West culture. Key West pink is an iconic piece to Key West.
As iconic as the conch?
I would say just a little bit below it.
Okay, yeah.
Because, you know, again, I'm a native-born conch.
Okay.
I'm a seventh generation Key Wester, a conch, a native-born conch, as we like to refer to ourselves. I know Key West, I love Key West, and I love to share the history of and the culture of my city with all of the visitors that come here.
To no surprise, Clinton loves his hometown so much, especially when you can get a piece of key lime pie like this one.
Now, what's the story about key lime pie?
You know, key lime pie it's said to have got its start here in Key West in the 1850s, and it's a very, very simple dessert. Very tart, make it woo at the end because it's made with the key lime.
Today we use sweetened condensed milk. We squeeze our limes and we put egg yolks, and that's the classic recipe, and that's what makes the congealed part of the pie. And then the whites are mixed with a little bit of sugar, cream to tartar, and make our meringue. Well, it's a pretty standard recipe, actually. We just do a good job with it. We squeeze our limes and make it the old-fashioned way. Lots of love.
What on earth is happening with that? That is absolutely massive.
This is a beautiful presentation of...
Its hairstyle is very high.
It might even hold up in the high winds, you know? But look at that. But yeah, this is, you know, key lime pie. It's a simple dessert. Again, so vitally important to Key West.
I've got to tell you, it's my favorite dessert in the world.
Mine too.
And I'm not from here, and I'm not biased. It is absolutely my favorite.
Yeah.
Let me see if it's up to scratch.
Please do.
Oh.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Right up there with one of the best.
One of the great things about any city you go to visit is you've got to make sure you have good food. And trust me, traveling to Key West, food, very, very important, and we deliver on it.
Whether it's great food or perfect weather, Key West really does deliver. Key West is a distant island off the coast of Florida, and before this small town became known as a vacation destination, locals here made their fortune from helping ships at sea.
If you're on a ship and you happen to strike the reef and you need assistance,
yeah,
you're grateful, you know, that somebody's out there to come and assist.
Okay.
And so a captain, a salvage captain, federally licensed by the government, the captain, I need assistance. And so, okay, well, you're gonna sign a document that says, you know, at the end of this, you're gonna owe me some money for this service.
Okay.
And if the captain had enough money to pay for the service, they paid for the service.
Okay.
However, if they didn't, portions of their cargo would have to be left behind. The cargo would be auctioned off at an auction, and then proceeds from that auction would be used to pay the salvagers for their services.
The salvage industry was so prominent that most locals today can trace back their personal connection.
You know, we're in this museum today, the Shipwreck Treasures Museum. It's all about the story of the salvage history.
Yeah.
The salvage crew that found the shipwreck that we focus on here, the Isaac Allerton, an 1850s merchant vessel, they were searching for Spanish galleons.
Okay. Now, this was your grandfather, right?
This is my great-great-great-grandfather in 1856, actually worked the shipwreck of the Isaac Allerton with one of his sons. And so, for me, it's one of my favorite stories to tell about the cultural history, my family's connection to Key West.
Wrecking was probably the most important economy for the area, right?
Yeah, wrecking is really where it all kind of really began. Okay. You know, it's the salvage and wrecking industry that helped propel Key West into one of the wealthiest cities per capita in the United States
for
in the
real?
1850s. Yes.
Wow.
It's, you know, you're talking hundreds of ships a day at times in the seasons could be sailing by the Florida Keys and the Straits of Florida, carrying all manners of goods. You know, the industry eventually came to an end, but the industry brought tremendous wealth, which in turn brought tremendous homes to the island as well. You know, big mansions. One of the great mansions of the day that we still see here today is the Curry Mansion built.
Which is your family?
Yes, cousins, you know, but the same last name, we just don't share the money.
Okay.
But William Curry, of course, he came here penniless as a young teenager in 1837 from Green Turtle Key in the Bahamas.
Right.
And through great business acumen, became Florida's first millionaire.
Talking about notable characters, the most notable, I guess, is Ernest Hemingway, right?
Yeah, I would say Ernest Hemingway is definitely one of the top notable names here.
Let's go and check out his house, shall we?
Sounds great.
Key West is filled with a vibrant and fascinating history. You'll find Hemingway's home away from the hustle and bustle of island life. This tropical getaway is the perfect place for an author.
While today known as the Hemingway House, it was built originally in 1851 of the native quarried limestone by Asa Tift. And Asa Tift was one of the wrecking masters, one of the wealthiest citizens on the island during that wrecking era when Key West was the wealthiest city per capita.
There's cats everywhere. What's going on? I mean, can't they like do something about that?
Well, the cats are actually one of the most important parts of the house. There's actually 55 of them on the property.
Oh my God!
And they are the polydactyl cats, so it's the six-toed cats. And so the cats are very important because cats were very important on sailing ships. You know, help keep rats or mice or rodents down. Okay. And so the first cat was given by a ship's captain to Ernest Hemingway here in the late 1920s.
Yep.
And his name was Snowball, and his sons renamed the cat Snow White.
Okay.
But all these cats here trace their lineages back to back to Snow White.
His writing style changed much of the way authors would write in this country, and some of his most prominent works were written right here in this house.
One novel that really traces his time back to Key West, and that a lot of the influence in Key West was To Have and Have Not. Okay. Actually based in the Great Depression era of Key West.
And it was actually based on the town.
Yeah, the town and some of the folks and the experiences that he had with those folks, and you know, their fishing trips and their camping trips and such stuff.
He was a big fisherman. Oh, yes. And, you know, that was his thing. When he wasn't writing and feeding the cats, he was fishing. Do you know, if I was an author, this is a great place to write because, you know, it's just so quiet and peaceful and beautiful.
Yes, and you know, and most of the mornings is when Hemingway did his writing. Okay. You know, 4 or 5 hours a day, and sometimes longer than that.
Really? Yeah. Well, it was a full-time job.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, it was his job. Yeah. And but
had to pay for all this. Okay, so this is called this
is the hayloft.
The hayloft.
This is, you know, you could say the writer's quarters, you know. But
right, so this is where he would come out, and then he would come up here and just think.
Yeah, think and write. You know, put the words together. You know, put the pages and let the pages start to go. So, but you can really get a sense to start to feel again. It's quiet right now.
Yep.
And during Hemingway's days here, it would have been quiet as well. Yep. Very little traffic. You know, again, the Great Depression, not a whole lot really going on.
Through Hemingway's writing, this small island getaway has inspired people all throughout the world. It doesn't get any fresher than this. At Hurricane Hole, expert chefs will cook the fish that you personally caught.
Well, this is your freshest seafood you'll get in Florida Keys. We have the opportunity to be able to buy our fish direct from the captains right here in the marina, so that's what we tout as one of our #1 selling features here, is the fact that we have fresh fish, and we literally mean hours out of the water.
How does this work today? So we've pretty much caught the fillets, you've cleaned them all up, and you've brought them here to the marina's restaurant. What are they going to do?
They're going to cook them however we like.
Yeah.
They're going to add sides to it. They bring it out family style, they call it.
Okay.
So it'll be a platter of fish. There'll be some sides to go with it, and it's delicious.
And it's one of the unique items on our menu that everybody walks away satisfied. One, because A, you're eating something that you caught yourself. B, most people have never had fish that are literally a couple hours old. And fresh fish, there's really nothing like it. It's absolutely spectacular. And then we always do our fresh catch meals as a family style. So it all comes out on a big platter, all different sides, all different preparations. So it ends up being a good family affair.
How long have you been doing this for?
23 years.
Wow. How many fish have you caught in that time?
I couldn't even begin to guess.
Matt's been living and fishing in Key West for quite a while, and with weather like this, it's easy to understand why so many people move here from colder parts of the country. What brought you here in the first place?
I was chasing girls.
You were chasing girls, and you even hook, line, and sinkered one yourself.
I did. My wife Teresa, best thing that's ever happened to me, and we're both Midwesterners, transplants from down here.
Isn't that fun?
Oh, it's fantastic.
In fact, the population here, there's a lot of people who are from the Midwest.
Yeah.
I guess because it's so cold, right?
Yeah.
And they just want to escape the snow, and you get tired of shoveling snow.
Sure. Haven't shoveled snow in 20 years.
You miss it?
20 plus. Not very much.
But this fishing lifestyle isn't just for fun. Much of the economy here in Key West relies heavily on the fresh catch. Fishing here, I mean, how important is fishing to the economy here in
Absolutely.
Is it really?
Absolutely essential.
Okay.
It's huge. Charter fishing and commercial fishing.
Okay.
Commercial fills the restaurants so that people can eat.
Yep.
And recreational, these boats all take people charter fishing.
I was excited to get out on the water with Matt, and even more excited to try my hand at catching my very first fish.
And watch your flip.
Okay, keep it down.
And you're down. Throw your bail. Lift, reel.
Oh, wow.
Now lean up, just lean up. Reel down to him. Reel.
Oh, it's gone.
No, it's not. Keep reeling. See, he's going the other way.
Oh, wow.
Stop, lift, just lift. Okay, just let him run.
How do we get a fish so quickly? Wow.
You're just a lucky man.
We literally just put the thing in the water.
Bring your rod tip right over my head. There you go, buddy.
Mate, that was literally 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes.
Not even 5 minutes.
That was 30 seconds. That is incredible. That's it. 30 seconds. First fish I've ever caught as an adult. Yes. He's a beauty, isn't he?
Yes, very nice.
So we caught a yellow jacket. How kind of rare are they? And are they kind of like a bit of a favoured fish here?
They are one of the favorite fishes to eat. My wife's favorite. They're not rare fish.
Okay.
Thankfully, or otherwise we wouldn't be able to keep them.
Yeah, okay.
By law.
Yeah.
And the other fish were gray snapper, mangrove snapper. There's a snapper.
Oh, wow, we got a snapper. Wow, that's great. That's great. So we've got 2 fish already.
Fine eating fish right there. It's called a mangrove snapper, or a gray snapper we call them.
Okay.
Look at the teeth on this guy.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. The whole inside is basically teeth. The whole inside. Wow. He's got a big mouth.
Those canine teeth are sharp, and these are kind of ornery fish. They will grab right a hold of you, and they will hold on.
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if it's beginner's luck or Matt's expertise, but we caught some great looking fish literally in a few minutes. Now it's time to cook them up.
Well, Mitch and Gary brought in a yellow jacket and a yellowtail snapper. So on the yellow jack, which is a bit of a meatier fish, we're going to fry that. It holds up well to the seasoned flour batter. And with the snapper, which is a little more delicate, light, sweet fish, we're going to put that on the grill, panko preparation and black.
Oh, Matt, thank you so much.
No problem.
So this is the fish we caught.
This is the fish you caught.
That is just amazing.
Literally from the boats onto this dock, dragged through the restaurant, right into the kitchen, and then into the fryers. So our customers actually get to see the fish coming off the boat and getting brought right into the kitchen. So it really doesn't get any better than that.
This is amazing. I caught this fish and now I'm about to eat it. Oh yeah. That is just amazing. I literally didn't put anything on it because I just want to taste the meat itself.
Sure.
And that's the grilled version. It's really, really kind of chalky, almost falls apart in your mouth. And not really oily though.
No.
And just delicious. Okay, let me try some of this this battered fried stuff. This is the yellow jacket still, the first fish I caught. Oh yeah. Actually, I prefer it fried.
Yeah.
It's a little more oilier and just a beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a fried fish man. That's my go-to.
Yeah, look at that. Just falls apart. Absolutely beautiful. More than a meal, fishing culture in Key West has created a haven for creatives and adventurers alike. Thanks for coming on the tour with us. Join us next time as we continue our tasting journey throughout America. Hawaii. Between the pristine beaches and perfect climate, it's no wonder this island is a hotspot for adventurers and honeymooners. But often overlooked by visitors is a rich and ancient Hawaiian culture, a culture that is actually threatened by these massive imports. But even in the face of globalization, a new wave of sustainable living is reshaping modern Hawaii. Today we discover the ancient customs of this great island.
It's cultural custom to be greeted and be laid.
And marvel at beautiful Waikiki Beach.
You work in one of the best places in the world.
We meet a chef known for his authentic seasonal cuisine.
When they come to the restaurant, they taste Hawaii.
Derek gives us a tour of his organic farm.
Even the face of farming is changing. It looked a little older. We're trying to make it look a little younger.
And teaches us the importance of farming.
It's good to get out where in the soil and see where it's all happening.
And of course, we couldn't leave without tasting what we'd picked.
I mean, whoever knew a turnip could be so good?
For centuries, celebration has remained a fundamental aspect of Hawaiian culture. Through song, dance, and unforgettable feast, the luau encapsulates life on the island.
Hey, Harry. Great to meet you. Now, they've told me that you are the man to go to for everything luau.
Yeah, this is the place to be here at the Royal Hawaiian.
Am I saying it right? Luau?
Luau.
Luau. That sounds so much better when you do it.
So a luau consists of multiple things. It's dance, as well as celebration and food and gathering. And that's what a luau is. And there's a lot of fire dancing, a hula, as well as different parts of the culture of aspect of Hawaii.
The luau is very important to Hawaiians, right?
A luau is a part of celebration. It's a part of bringing families together and celebrating, whether it's a child's birth or a marriage.
So it was not done every night. This is something that was done, when there's a special occasion.
So when you enter a luau, it's cultural custom to be greeted and be laid. So as you get a lei, it's welcoming or bringing you to say, welcome, come aboard here in Hawaii. Right now at the luau, what we have is we have one of the Hawaiian guys pounding out a little bit of poi, or the Hawaiian kalo. We also have a woman over there. She's in her dress making and weaving a little bit of strands of lauhala leaf, which is from the trees, what they would make to build their skirts. And as you see on the side, they're throwing up their knives and doing the fire dancing. And off to the side, they're doing some nice hula.
Beyond the festivities and entertainment, the elaborate feast represents unity and inclusion. A celebration not only of Hawaii, but of humanity.
The food is the main part of the celebration.
Okay.
And that's where you have traditionally imu, which is they cook the pig underground, a whole pig, which you would catch in the wild, salt it, cure it, and then cook it with banana leaves and put lava rocks on top of that and cook it underground, called an imu. So today in our luau, we are not having wild pig, but we do have local farm-raised pigs, and we shred that tableside for our guests. We have multiple things. We have traditional ahi poke, we have a little bit of poi and lomi salmon. We also have some nice salads and different local farm-to-table produce that we have here in the islands. So what we have here is we have our vegetarian curry.
So you cater for everybody here?
We cater for everyone. We have our nice local vegetables, roasted and sauteed, also wok fried.
What's this here?
So what we have is a little bit of Japanese eggplant, Chinese long beans, mushrooms grown on the Big Island, local pumpkin and choy sum.
Yeah, I love that. So you got locally grown produce here.
And then we've got our huli huli chicken. So huli huli means to flip, and we actually marinate it with a little bit of Filipino influence adobo sauce. And this is our local style kalbi beef. We grilled that. We basically marinated with a little bit of soy, ginger, and garlic and chili.
And this is the fish.
The fish what we have is a monchong, which is caught at our auction block at the pier. And we serve that a little bit with Chinese style with a little soy and ginger, a little bit of fresh scallions and cilantro, and a little bit of chili.
Smells amazing. I'm going to be having some of that. My first luau is shaping up to be something special. So the indigenous Hawaiians who lived here for thousands of years, working the land was a big part of who they are and part of their culture, right?
Absolutely, and that's something that from in the past we're trying to do to cultivate now in modern times and keep that practice of sustainability and that farm to table. And so us chefs now in modern day are here to really support our local farmers and the aquaculture as well as the agriculture as well as the ranching. So we actually have farms off on the Big Island who actually are raising abalone, lobster, and cold water fish over called kampachi, or the Hawaii kampachi. I actually am a spearfisher, so I actually, believe it or not, gone spearfishing
Just out here?
Just out here.
Wow.
And we catch octopus, different species of fish, but it's definitely not as populated in terms of fish as they used to be back in the day.
I mean, this is all wetlands, wasn't it, at one stage? Like a jungle.
It actually was, believe it or not, Ala Moana and Waikiki were actually marshes or wetlands. And so, due to, modern times and things, that they were able to dredge and put more sand and pump it out from the deep sea so that we could have it as a tourist destination.
Restoring Waikiki Beach has allowed for tourism to boom in Hawaii, but beyond this traveller's mecca lies hidden local gems. Outside the hustle and bustle of Waikiki are some of Hawaii's most authentic dishes, and I've been told Alan Wong has some of the best.
Aloha, Gary.
Great to meet you. I always love that aloha. You always know where you are when you hear that welcome, right?
Aloha again.
This restaurant is located kind of like away from the kind of tourist area, I guess. This is kind of more where locals kind of would come. You have a wonderful view of the mountains here, which is stunning. How many years have you been here for?
We opened in 1995, 24 years almost, come April.
What are you going to do for us today? What's going on here?
I'm going to tell you a little story.
Okay.
but a little bit of a Hawaii regional cuisine, which is our style here. Involves just a little bit of history, but a lot of tasting for you.
Well, I'm hungry, so that's good. When you first started, everything was imported, which imported from elsewhere, all the produce, right?
Uh-huh.
And you obviously didn't like that idea.
Well, it's not a self-sufficient, not a sustainable Hawaii. We import over 85% of our food into Hawaii. That if we can move this dial back 10% to 75%, all these great things happen. We create 2,300 jobs, generate $6 million in taxes. The farming community gets $94 million. Our state's economy gets $188 million.
What?
But more important, we can feed ourselves a little bit better than now. We need to keep more food in Hawaii, export less, and we need to have more farmers growing more things. So one of the things that I want our guests to experience is when they come to the restaurant, they taste Hawaii. I got some tea for you. This is mamaki tea.
Okay.
It's made from the white mulberry tree. The old Hawaiians use that for like cleansing.
So good.
No caffeine. The liquid is 100% tea. Well, 95.
Why is it so creamy?
Because it has the flavors of coconut and taro.
Wow.
And so the coconut and taro in old Hawaii were big staples of the cuisine.
How much taro do you use in your menu?
That depends. We make our menus every day different. We date the menus, and so it depends on how you feel, what you're inspired to do. Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow, that's a very full flavor.
Eat that ball, which looks like a truffle.
Okay.
But that's just 100% taro.
Oh wow.
That's the real deal.
Wow. It's. I wouldn't say it's the sweetest thing I've ever tasted, but I could certainly see why Hawaiians in that time, when they weren't exposed to all the sugars and everything that we eat today, they would love this. It's very hearty, like a potato.
So when you taste Hawaii, it means the fruits and vegetables that we grow here. It's everything as locally raised and grown as possible, or produced locally possible.
Yeah.
So you taste Hawaii.
This is our pre-Captain Cook poke. And I got it. You're eating history here, right?
A little bit.
So this is kind of like some kind of indigenous ingredients here, right?
Well, you have to go back to pre-Captain Cook.
Yeah.
Prior to that, they were cutting with bone and with stone.
Wow.
And so this was before onions, scallions, chili peppers came.
Yeah.
They had sea salt. Well, you know, salt used to be like money. Celery comes from S-A-L. In French, they say salt, S-E-L. Sal, right?
Yes.
So the theory was if you didn't have salt, you were not going to live, because this was a way to preserve food.
That's so
But
true.
they bartered with this.
Okay.
They traded for this.
Wow.
This is very important because you could preserve food, and it made your food not boring.
Even here in Hawaii, that was the case.
These are 3 types of seaweed, but this is so simple that we're about almost done. Okay.
Oh, really?
This
So
is,
we just started.
Limu kohu.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just gonna and a little bit of this.
Thank you.
Simple.
Really simple. Really kind of organic. And I love the salty pieces because they're like little surprises.
Like little crystals, huh?
Little crystals that you just bite into, and just stunning. That fish is so fresh. What an honor to have the chef who cooked the food sitting with me while I taste it. Okay.
Okay, so this is a poke.
This is the poke we would have before.
Yeah.
Just done in a more elegant, fine dining way. In here we have some avocado, right?
And avocado salsa with ginger and sake. Make sure you get all the 3 layers.
Yeah.
Think cheesecake.
Wow. There are so many flavors going on here, from the wasabi on the side, the crunchiness of the chips below, and the ginger, and the poke. It is just an all-round mouth explosion. Now this looks great.
Coconut.
Look at that. I almost feel like it's such a shame, this sculpture, to be able to eat this. It's just such a...
That's actually chocolate. It's not a coconut shell. You can eat the whole thing.
Wow. That is really something else. Honestly, that's just like a work of art. What a great way to finish a meal. Alan Wong's dedication to a seasonal menu has established him as a pioneer for self-sufficient Hawaii. More than a trend,
Relying on the land is essential to native Hawaiian life, both with the restaurant and on the farms. Mayo Farm is located on the west side of Oahu. Locals refer to this place as Waiaani, and in ancient times this area was a self-sufficient region that produced a lot of food.
Rain or shine, one thing about being a farmer, you know, like everybody got to eat and everyone's always eating, even on holidays, you know, and even on rainy days. And so we're out there with our raincoats, still coming in at 5 in the morning, trying to get that order out.
You guys are taking it for the team?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, someone's got to do it.
We're in a kind of a cool little area here, aren't we? I mean, but this is a valley from prehistoric times, right?
Basically. I don't think they found any dinosaur bones yet, but I'm sure there is somewhere back here.
Well, wasn't Jurassic Park kind of filmed it?
Yeah, it was. Okay, that's kind of funny. Not in this area or this caldera, but in the Ko'olau.
The Hawaiian people work as a big spiritual part of their life.
Yeah, for sure. Part of our Hawaiians' identity is basically with the land, this relationship with the land.
Yeah.
You know, there's even a story of, I don't know if you guys know of like a taro plant or a kalo plant. Yeah, and so basically that's seen as one of their ancestors, typically called haloa. Pre-contact, the Hawaiian people were self-sustaining, you know. There's records of there being upwards of 1 million people on this island.
Wow.
And being able to sustain themselves.
Yeah, most of the young adults who live in this community are Native Hawaiian. Yeah. And as Native Hawaiians, you know, we lived on these islands for hundreds of years. We're completely self-sufficient. We had our own economy, our own ways of growing food and caring for each other.
Recently, Waiini residents have witnessed the gradual overdevelopment of their resources. Urbanisation has shrunk their land and stolen their water. The locals are forced to disconnect from the land that raised them.
And we see the poverty that is being manifested in contemporary society as recent and learned behavior.
Yeah.
And that was a function of us being dispossessed of our practices and being dispossessed of ownership of our land.
Mayo Organic Farms offers a variety of communal programs dedicated to building and educating their community. Waiini residents are remaining faithful to a traditional rural vision despite these difficult circumstances.
Farming is looked at as a, you know, the job for the lower people, you know what I mean, or that it's not a job that, you know, for akamai or for smart people, but it's, you know, we're definitely changing that. Even the face of farming is changing. It looked a little older. We're trying to make it look a little younger. I gotta shave. If I shaved, it'd look even younger. You guys brought the rain, man.
I know, man. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Nothing wrong with a little bit of rain.
So you really do need a four-wheel drive here, right?
Yeah. It doesn't need to be right now. There's just a few areas that we will get stuck if I'm not in four-wheel drive.
Okay.
But
especially when it rains out here, right?
Yeah. Alrighty.
It's good to get out with in the soil and see where it's all happening.
It's good for exfoliation, I think, of the toes and the face and whatever.
So what are we growing here?
Mostly salads, some bunches, radish, because radish grows super quick.
Now you're not using any chemicals here, obviously, because it's
no,
yeah. So how do you keep the bugs off it?
Shoots, we yell at them, really. The bugs usually only come after a certain age. Also, what we do is crop rotation, and so this field, it's a salad rotation right now, but the next rotation in will be roots or something. And so
great.
The rotation prior to this was slightly different as well.
Which means the bugs that would have been attracted to the salad have now come. Well, sorry fellas, there's nothing here for you.
Yeah, exactly. We're just trying to confuse them a little bit. They're still pretty smart. Yeah, and so one of the other things that we do basically to manage pests is we'll we'll basically grow within each of these, between these beds, we'll grow citrus. And so right here we have some lemons. Those far beds, we have lime trees and also some oranges. Well, basically they act as basically a habitat for beneficial bugs to basically
kill the other bugs.
Yeah, kill the other pests. Yeah, we're
you guys are
it's
creating
king of the jungle. You know,
that's great.
Yeah. And so right here, this is what we call French breakfast radish. We grow about roughly about 3 to 4 different varieties.
So what do you do?
And so all you're doing, so you want to basically get as close to the root as possible.
Yeah.
And put this so you don't break the leaves. We still need the leaves. So some of these radish, they're on the smaller side, but one thing we notice is, and shucks, even our ancestors kind of notice things too, but sometimes bigger isn't always better.
Okay.
You know, especially in terms of flavor.
Yeah. I mean, these aren't very big, but
yeah.
But they look really delicious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So these go back to the shed, and then they get washed. I guess.
Yep, they get washed and then packaged as well.
Perfect. The economic impact of food imported here is significant. Hawaii imports nearly 90% of its food at a cost of more than $3 billion a year. The amount of tons you guys do per year, it's not a big operation for the amount that the output.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing that's crazy is even with the amount that we do, there is still a huge puka or a huge hole in our food system. You know, we're still you know, importing upwards of just about 90% of our food.
For real?
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's like an epidemic that just isn't viewed as an epidemic for Hawaii. You know, we're a small island. We're surrounded by water. The worst thing we could do is have things, you know, be dependent on imports.
Fresh ingredients like this should be eaten locally. The Farm to Table initiative is slowly emerging within the islands of Hawaii. With rich resources in their backyard, restaurants like Mud Hen can serve up delectable, healthy, and locally fresh meals.
Hey, good to meet you. Welcome.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
That's Hawaii right there. This is what life's about here, right?
Right, exactly. So when we opened town, we wanted to have a little simple neighborhood restaurant that had that same commitment to the local farmers, but you could come in and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the same day if you wanted to.
I mean, what would be the percentage of your menu that would be locally grown?
Phew, I'm embarrassed to say because we are the poster children for the movement, but we're still only at around 65%.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. We don't have rice, we don't have flour, we don't have wine or beer or wheat. So there's a lot of things that we've got to bring in still, but I'd say in the last 15 years, our ability to source local has probably doubled.
So we got some turnips for you.
This is the yellow box. It's like Christmas.
Okay.
Every day when these all show up. So these are the turnips that you folks.
Oh, they're cleaned up. Last time we saw them, they were kind of like really dirty. So I'm so glad they look better.
It's the best tasting dirt you'll ever have.
Do you know that they look really happy in the ground, by the way?
These turnips are just thriving. It's the ideal growing condition.
And you guys had so much rain as well, which you can tell. Look, I mean, look how much water is in there.
First thing you do whenever we get something from Mott is I shove it in my mouth. Give it a try. It's that crunch, and it's just an explosion of flavor in your mouth, right? I mean, whoever knew a turnip could be so good?
It tastes like fruit. It's crispy. It's like an apple.
Mm-hmm. Why would I do anything with this except just serve it?
Well, hang on. My next question is, what are you going to be doing for us today? Sure, you're going to cook it or something, right?
I don't think so. I mean, why would I get rid of that burst of watery juiciness and that crunch? Every table that comes into Mud Hen Water starts out with a poo-poo course.
Okay.
That's what we call it in Hawaii, pupus. But it's not what you think.
Okay.
It's also known as an amuse-bouche elsewhere.
Okay.
Just a little free taste tantalizer to get them in the spirit.
Yeah, and the palate going, right?
What I was thinking we'd probably do with this is just clean these up a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, they're so beautiful. There's almost no blemishes. There's not much you have to do.
I'm not gonna say it's a dirt taste to it, but it's a mustard taste, like a taste in that turnip.
I mean, the soil out there, if you notice, is just dark black.
Yep.
It's called vertisol. It's only found in 2 places on Earth, or someplace in Africa and Lualua Valley, where you.
No way.
And what it's known for is it's a clay soil that cracks, so it kind of self-composts. You gonna hand me one of those boards over there?
Yes, sir.
Like maybe the second or third one down.
There we go.
There you go. So we'll start with just sending something out this to a 2-top. Because of the mustardy kind of nature of the turnips, I thought some pickled mustard seeds.
Great idea.
This is something we've always gotten in our pantry. It's like little vegan caviar pearls.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look at that. We add a little Inamona dukkha.
Yep.
Most every course we try to incorporate not only a local ingredient but an indigenous ingredient. It's also mixed with a little bit of coconut. We've got some lavender from the island of Maui. And I'm thinking this is just something that will drop down when people first
That's great.
show up.
Let's give it a taste, shall we? Oh yeah. Ed, really clean.
So there's people kind of already going, oh, we're going to be in for a journey.
One thing I love about what we just did is not only do we eat something that was organic, that represents Hawaii, but it's about what these guys are doing on the farm with the local community there, right? Mm-hmm. That just tasted a little bit better.
I'm so glad you said that.
From farm to table, restaurants like Mud Hen are preserving this ancient Hawaiian culture. Thank you so much for joining us on the tour today. Join us next time as we continue our tasting journey throughout America.